Hello, hello, hi, hello. How's everyone out there? Who do we got? Who do we got? Who do we got? It is the day after Thanksgiving. Let me see who we all we have here. We might be lacking a few folks probably because a lot of folks are probably still with family, etc. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at who we got here, shall we? Shall we? I believe I saw Doug. Yes, Doug is the first one in here. Hello, Doug. Um, Outer Signal. Hello, Outer Signal. Matt Saigai, they did. They got my tooth. I am blasted out of my mind right now, though. I got to tell you, painkillers are. I love them to death. Anyway, yeah, I feel great. Let's put it that way. I feel great. What else we got here? Death died today. Hello, Death died today. Okay. Hello. Okay. Who's this? I'm sorry, I just missed it. Oh, that is. I know who that is. That is Twobbles, I know who you are. Oh, Weirdomorphous Blob. Hello, Weirdomorphous Blob. Hello, SoCal. Hello, Toya Toya or Victoria. Hello, Lee Lane. Uh, okay, so folks, I hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. If you celebrate, um, I I had a good Thanksgiving. It was rough because I really couldn't eat much. But luckily, I'm on an opiate because of my mouth, so I didn't really feel much. So I was able to eat some without, too much of an issue. I was allowed to eat, but, we so anyway, my I did get my surgery. My surgery went well. Uh, I'm still in pain, but thank God I am on it's called Tramadol. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of Tramadol. It's an opiate, and it's been an interesting experience. I don't know if I've ever even been on an opiate before. But, yeah, I'm on an opiate, and dear God, I can this shit is well, it's powerful, I can tell that. I can tell it's very powerful. Um, and, yeah, except it makes me very tired, which is interesting. But anyway, alright, so I'm currently all drugged up, and I'm ready to go. And if I seem like I'm talking slower than normal, it's because I feel lovely. Yes. Yes, SoCal, that would be Tramadol. 'Kay. Is that so, Weirdomorphous Blob? I don't know if I've ever been on oxycodone. So, thank you, Victoria. Uh, is that so? It ain't. That's weak DOS. What's weak DOS? The tramadol, but it doesn't feel weak to me, but maybe that's because 'cause I'm not used to these kind of drugs. Anyway, um, alright, so, uh, we got some things to talk about. I will see how long I can go for. If my mouth does start hurting, I will stop, but it hasn't really been hurting because of all the drugs I'm on, so we'll see if it turns out that way. I'm allowed to do this. I'm allowed to talk and stuff. I'm just not allowed to exert myself by, like, lifting things or moving around too much, so I'll just sit here. That's no problem. Okay, so I hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. Hello, Mithril. Uh Alright, so a few things we're gonna do a few things here. First of all, if we get 1 super chat, I will put on the jester hat. Um, oh, thank you, Matt Side Guy, okay? Thank you for complimenting my shirt. I got another one, by the way. There were some Black Friday deals, so I got another one of these shirts, but in a different color for, like, 15 bucks, so I'm happy about that. Um, 'Kay, so I don't know what any of those are. Well, what is Abasol? Anbesol? Anyway, so tramadol, I don't know. It's working very well for me. Let's put it that way. So what was I going to say? Oh yeah. So if we get to 1 super chat, Jester hat. If we get to 3, Jester collar. If we get to 5, we'll do the Kahoot. Uh, and I did make a Kahoot for today. So if we get to 5 super chats, we'll do the Kahoot. Okay. Um, and what else? If we get to 7, we'll do a GeoGuessr or another quiz type thing, and then that'll be it. We're not gonna do a Jester After Dark stream today for the sake of my mouth, etc. Okay, so we have some things to talk about. All right, hope everyone's doing well up there. Um, I know of Victoria. Well, in their defense, Victoria, the Tylenol, I I am a baby, and like I have a lot of nerve endings in my mouth. So they gave me very small number of opioids. Like there's only like 10 pills in there, because with the expectation that the Tylenol probably wouldn't work very well, and it didn't. So as soon as it didn't work, they gave me um, the opioid. Okay, thank you, Matt Guy. Okay, we'll start with the hat then. Let's start with the hat. So first thing we're gonna do, folks, in your groove, hello. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna talk briefly about the Thanksgiving Day parade because I need to complain to someone, and you're all my therapists. So we're gonna briefly talk about the Thanksgiving Day parade in New York City. And then there's a point to it, I promise. It'll be like a fun little analysis thing. There you go, Meowzord. Welcome, Meowzord. Hillbilly Elegy 2, Return of the Opiates. I know, right? Okay. So we're going to talk briefly about the Thanksgiving Day parade in New York City, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade. You got to add the Macy's part because it's a giant ad. Yes, Victoria. Can you see them? Do they look big or anything? I don't know if you can see them very well. Okay, so let's get into that, and then we got some other things to do. So let's do that first. Hello, Dolly Boy. Hello, Dolly Boy. All right, let me go over to that. Laser focused. Okay. Uh, I changed some of the settings on the camera. Does it look okay? Okay, sorry, Victoria. Hopefully they will look weird soon. Okay, I don't know. All right. Okay. So let me pull up the right screen here. So little brief presentation here. Mainly it's about critical thinking. Thank you, Meowzord. I was hoping that it looked a little bit better. Um, and I wanted to show you all. I also got something. It was donated to me actually by a friend of mine because they didn't need it anymore. I'll show you. I'm very excited to see it to show you all. Okay, first of all, let's get to this. Fix the camera here. All right. So here we have. I'm going to put up the present. So I actually also made the presentation using Canva this time. For fun. Okay, so all right. For those who don't know, uh, in the United States, Thanksgiving is a big holiday, right? And there has been a very long tradition of having this massive parade in New York City, and that parade is broadcast all over the country. It typically attracts millions of viewers. It's shown on TV, typically on NBC. Uh, and it is very popular. It is a big part of our pop culture. Like lots of movies and things reference it. It's a big event. Okay, this Thanksgiving Day parade in New York City. Anyway, it's a big thing. All right. And just to give you a little feel for it, before I start into my little rant about it, I want to point out that it's undoubtable. It's undoubtable that some of you probably watch it. Literally millions of people watch it. I think like 38 million people on average watch it on Thanksgiving. So if you like it, that's okay. Please don't take this as an insult. Remember, you can look at things from two different perspectives. There's the emic perspective, which is where you look at it from the perspective of someone involved in it, who actually likes it, who is invested in its cultural expression. You can look at it from an etic perspective, which is an outsider's cold analytical perspective, and that's what I'm doing today. I have no doubt it is a lovely event. I'm sure, and you'll see people do have fun at it. They enjoy watching it. So please keep doing that if you like it. But I'm going to be taking an etic approach to this. Okay. Okay. Right. SoCal. So okay. So just to show you what this was just a brief little, I guess, compilation. I think it's less than a minute long of things that occurred.
Welcome to NBC's exclusive live coverage of the 99th Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade on the most magical morning in New York.
We know that when Tom Turkey starts to pass by, that means the parade has just hit a new level of...
So you can see here, guys, it is yeah, exactly, Meowser. You can see here, this is like they have these floats that go by that are actually very beautiful. They're very, well, some of them are beautiful. They're very well made. This is one of a giant turkey. This whole parade is sponsored by Macy's. Yeah, it is Outer Signal. Okay. Anyway.
Amazing.
What about La Boo Boo?
La Boo Boo is everywhere right now. How about this thing? It's a 16-foot tall furry inflatable. The very first of its kind in the parade.
Yeah.
Oh, look.
You're smart, Matt Saigai, you're not wrong. I actually put a comment in the venting section of our Discord comparing this parade to like a North Korean parade, except okay.
Who's back? It's Stewart from Illumination's blockbuster Minions franchise.
And this year, he's
So there's a ton of these big balloons that go by that are massive and very expensive. Here's
showing
one
up
of them.
in style.
To 34th Street and beyond. Here
Now you hear the announcers. These are all NBC announcers. They're reading from scripts, by the way, but they're always very excited. Every time you see them, they have a big smile on their face.
is a brand new balloon of everybody's favorite space ranger, Buzz Lightyear. The sleigh already loaded with presents as he officially marks the beginning of the holiday season.
All right, and it traditionally ends. Yeah, Mithril. It traditionally ends with Santa Claus on this beautiful sleigh coming down the road. Uh, okay. Oh, you're not wrong, weird amorphous blob at all. You're not wrong at all. It typically ends with Santa Claus on this beautiful sleigh coming down. Okay, the middle of the show. So here we go. Okay, let's get back into the presentation here. So that's the Thanksgiving Day parade. There was one yesterday. It was huge. Every year I watch it with my mother, mainly to have a chance to be with my mom. She really likes it. I'm not a fan, but I do like being with her. And while I was sitting there watching it, one of the ways I get through it is exactly Meowsword. One of the ways I get through it is that I analyze it. I try to like analyze it from an academic perspective. And yeah, so I did that, and I decided to put my thoughts into this presentation, and now you all have to sit through it. Okay. You all know my background. I like talking about methods of social control and, all this other fun stuff. So, okay, first of all, this parade started in 1924. This has been going on for a very long time. All right. Here's an image on the right of, I think this was it occurring in 1924. You can see they had the big balloons and shit still, even at this time. And it has become essentially a massive iconic part of American culture. It really has. And it's watched by tens of millions of people every year. Even today it is. And I was looking up stats. I thought that it would be something that is dying. It turns out the last few years, numbers of people watching it has actually gone up, not down, which is kind of surprising to me. Anyway, so it's an iconic thing in America. Lots of movies and things like that reference it. All right. So here are some images from it. You got here the exactly Mithril. Okay, here's like the opening. This is them coming down. You notice the whole thing is sponsored by what is it? What do you call it? Department store, a fashion department, big store called Macy's. So it's Macy's parade, and of course they get lots of free advertising from this. Lots and lots and lots of free advertising for Macy's. I mean, it's not free. They have to they do the parade, but they also make money off of it. You'll see what I mean in a second. So like they have all these lovely ladies. Notice, by the way, it's everyone's smiling. That's one of the most annoying things about it is like every single person you see is smiling. And I know I'm a Debbie Downer, but I'm like I just get tired of seeing all the smiles. They've been told to smile. Anyway, smile, 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 smile. Hello, Macy Schroeder. Okay. All right, here's another image. Now, this is, I think, kind of a cool. I think this is kind of a cool. Um, yeah. Oh, you're right, Mithra. Okay. I thought this was kind of a cool float. I mean, it does look good with with the turkey and shit. Now, I didn't think it's kind of weird that they have the pilgrim sitting on top of it. I don't see any Native Americans anywhere on it. Anyway, so that's kind of fun. Regardless, I do not hate Zoran. Jesus. Okay. All right. Speaking of Zoran, have you heard how everyone keeps asking him about why he doesn't attend parades? It's so annoying. Anyway, he always has a great answer though. Oh my God, you're not wrong, Global. Okay, so anyway, here's one of them. Here's another one. Okay, then now on the other hand, you also have a ton of these big balloons. Here's Pac-Man. By the way, and so because I'm a nerd, I actually looked up what corporations own each of these properties, right? And so Pac-Man is Namco. Namco paid for this giant Pac-Man balloon, which they then had in the parade. You can imagine it's an advertisement, right? They put Pac-Man in the parade to get people to play Pac-Man. So Namco, the corporation, paid lots of money probably around $200,000 to have this balloon in this parade. It might be a little more than that from what I've looked up. A lot of the stats are hidden, but it's around $200,000 was paid. I know, okay, it paid $200,000 to have Pac-Man in the parade. It doesn't mean it looks bad. No, it just means that it's in there because a company paid for it because it's an ad. Let's go to the next one here. Here you have Snoopy. Snoopy. Now, Snoopy also paid for by Peanuts International, which is partially owned by Sony. Uh, so so here's Sony and Peanuts International, their contribution to the parade. Probably I totally agree with you. Now, if there was a Dark Souls parade, I would totally have not done any of this. Okay, just kidding. But uh, so here we got another paid for advertisement uh, of Snoopy, which again probably $200,000 plus worth of donate of money paid for this thing for the sake of an ad by Sony and Peanuts International. Now, one of the rules of this parade is you can't have anything in it that is political or divisive in any way. It all has to be lighthearted, fun shit. So, of course, it's going to be popular characters and things like that. All right, moving on. We got the Minions here. Minions owned by Illumination Studios, which is in turn is owned by Comcast. So here's a giant ad for Comcast here. Here's a giant ad for Comcast. Now, what's funny is on the left here, I thought this was a great picture because I don't know if you can see it, but there's a sign on the front of this. I think this is a museum right here. This is a museum right here. And it says declaring the revolution because apparently this is there's a museum. There's a there's a museum here about the American Revolution or about revolutions. And I'm like, well, after seeing this parade, I definitely do want to declare a revolution. Anyway, so this is a Minions advertisement paid for. All right. Here we got Minnie Mouse. Now, I'm sure you all know what company paid for this. I'm sure you all know what. Oh, thank you, SoCal. I'm sure you all know what company paid for this. First person that says it, I don't know. I'll shout them out or something. By the way, I'm eating some food because I need some food. What company do we think paid for this one? They've paid for many of them. D's nuts. Dolly boy. Disney. Yeah, this is a Disney ad. Yay. By the way, Disney has several ads in these things because they're a multi-billion-dollar company, if so they can afford a lot of ads in the parade. Again, it's smiling. Gotta love all the smiling. You know, we're in a fascist dictatorship. Okay. All right. Moving on. Labubu. Yay, Labubu. Giant goddamn ad for Labubus. And yeah, I didn't look up what company does Labubus, but whatever company does, definitely paid a lot for this. If it costs anywhere near as much as a Labubu, there you go. So this is a Chinese company. A Chinese company. Okay. So if this damn thing costs anywhere near as much as a Labubu, it probably was several $100,000. Because goddamn Labubus are insane. Okay. Yeah, exactly, Dolly boy. Kids, keep watching. Look, there's a Labubu. Okay. Whatever. Moving on. And of course, in the middle, I promise I'm getting somewhere with this. In the middle, uh, SoCal, you don't want to know. You don't want to know what a lay boo boo is. Okay. Let's put it this way, SoCal. You should be happy you're not teaching anymore. Yeah, I agree, Mesa. You should watch. Yeah, totally, man. It is. It's a loot box, meow. Zorda Labubu is a loot box. Anyway, Macy Schroeder, yes, they totally should watch the South Park episode about Labubus. We'll tell you everything you need to know about them. I'm glad I'm not teaching in a school anymore. Let's put it that way. Okay, and you have the Rockettes here. The Rockettes. Um, you have the Rockettes here who are dancers who, I don't know, they dance. And you have this little square in the middle of the parade called the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade Square. Wow, creative name. And there's dancers there and they dance a whole bunch and do shit like that. And obviously every time the camera and 30 some million people watch it, they get to see a big Macy's ad. So that's cute. Moving on. Also, musicals, companies, and stuff will do ads there. Look at all the joy in the audience. Look at this shit. Here we have the audience. Here we have the audience watching. Look at all the happiness and the joy, the smiles, all the kids completely enamored. This woman right here looks like she's having an aneurysm because she's so excited. Look at this. Look at this lady right here. Look at that face. I don't know if you can see her. Her face is just she's just very excited. Anyway, so all the joy this parade brings, all the happiness, all the joy. Personally, it's not for me, but hey, if it brings you happiness and joy, enjoy it. Okay, so all this joy. Of course, there's one person in this image that I really respect, and it's the one way back here. This kid, I don't know if you can see this kid's face probably on his father's poor shoulders. You can see here that kid doesn't look very excited. I feel him there. I feel him there. This little communist here is going to grow up to be a good socialist. Okay, moving on. Why am I showing you this? Because last year, the parade drew about 31.7 million viewers. It is a very popular parade to watch on TV. It drew more viewers than the Oscars or any other entertainment broadcast, literally. And if you buy NBC, which is the company that broadcasts from this parade, it's separate from Macy's, but they basically have exclusive rights to broadcast from the parade. NBC, in order to get an ad on NBC while this parade is showing, a 30-second ad costs around $900,000, so almost $1 million for a 30-second ad slot during this parade. And companies love buying ads during the parade. We're not even talking about the ads that are within the parade. We're talking TV ads that play during the parade. It's about $1 million. And then to build a balloon or a float costs, the low end of this estimate is around $200,000. That's construction costs and the fee to be in the parade as a giant ad for your company. Around $200,000. I suspect it's more than that. Alas, Macy's continuously refuses to talk about the financing, and they literally, this is a quote, they call the parade a gift to the American people. That's the phrase they use. It's a gift. And then they refuse to release any of the financing and the fact that they're actually making a shit ton of money off of it. But it's a gift to the American people. Anyway, so this year's event, by the way, included yeah, exactly. Totally. Weird amorphous blob. Yes. This year's event included 34 balloons, 28 floats, 28 performers, 11 marching bands, and 33 clown crews. Now, while I appreciate clown crews, that's a lot of clown crews. I wish I would have been in that clown crew. I would have embarrassed everyone. Meaning the parade is a nonstop novelty, okay? It is essentially an analog marching scroll, okay? It is constant brain stimulation for very short periods of time. You get a new little event every few seconds, every few minutes. Okay, it is a mess. It's a lot. Uh, yeah, I know, Macy. I believe. Okay, so, all right. All right. We'll just give you an example of what I mean here. This is so. Okay, this is one of the parade floats. Now, a lot of times these parade floats have singers on them, famous singers. This is a famous singer, and like the parade float will stop and they will start singing a song. They will only do part of a song. I don't even remember this singer's name. She's an older singer now, but she was on this float and did a song. Um, and I initially was like, well, what the hell is she advertising for? But then it very quickly became clear. So the company will pay to have a singer on the float, which is probably a few $100,000, if not $1 million. So they paid to have her on the float. They don't typically pay very, very big stars because that's too expensive. So they kind of get like B-roll stars or whatever. And she's one of these people. And this is a float for Serta, which I found out by looking at the next page here. Serta, which is a mattress company. Yeah, the Serta sheep. So she was singing on a Serta float, which advertises, I guess, mattresses. And you see there's all these sheep on here, which if you've ever seen a Serta commercial, there's all these sheep. everywhere. So it's a giant ad for mattresses. It's a giant ad for the Serta company. All right. Next thing here. So let me give you some analysis of all this nonsense. Okay. All the content is basically escapist and apolitical. All right. Okay. Well, we all need some of that sometimes, right? But it provides an endless stream of excuses to change the subject to something benign when around family on Thanksgiving, right? You can basically just, you don't have to talk any politics. Look, there's the Serta float. Okay. You know, I don't know. Immigrants are ruining our country. Oh look, there's Mario going by. You see what I mean? It's sort of a distraction, from the horrible things people are saying or believing or whatever, or so you don't get into fights with people. Okay. By the way, I'm joking. Obviously, immigrants not destroying the country. I'm trying to be one of those uncles. Okay. You know what I mean? All right. It also does something called fractional attention. The parade does not need to be watched continuously. It's great for passive watching, having it on in the background. Like I said, it's a bunch of very short segments of advertisements. The audio portions of the ads make up for the lack of eyes on the stream. That's why you have a lot of singers and the NBC announcers will actually explain each of the floats and talk and say the name of the company sponsoring it several times. So you can get the propaganda even if you're not directly watching the stream. You can hear it in the background, along with all the cheers and joy and stuff there, which then links in your brain the ideas of joy and happiness and Serta or peanuts or Labubus or whatever it may be. Then you get a nice little dopamine boost from watching this shit because each float, balloon, or other parade segment is introduced with pomp and music and joy and only stays on the screen briefly, which allows for constant stimulation. You're always seeing something new. Every new float is a new float. Yay, joy, new float. You only have to watch about for like 30 seconds to a minute per float, and then you get something new. So it's like another example of like, I don't know, TikTok or some shit in terms of the fractional attention, which is why I'm guessing, yeah, very Orwellian, right? Death died today. I'm not exaggerating. It's very, very much. I think that's why it might still be so popular, is because it's basically like watching TikTok at this point, with a bunch of corporate ads. All right, and then next page here, and then by the way, the last thing in the parade, is this. It's Santa Claus, and I will admit, again, I'm trying to be fair here. Santa Claus typically has a very beautiful outfit. And even though I don't know about that female elf. I don't know if I'd want to be sitting so close to Santa. He seems to be a bit. I don't know if that. I don't know. Is that what's her name? Is that Mrs. Claus? I hope so. Anyway, so you see here, like Santa always comes at the end of the parade, and throughout the parade, the announcers are constantly reminding you, don't, hey, and stay around. Santa is coming at the end of the parade. Or they'll say, oh, we got a special guest, kids, coming at the end of the parade. Or as always, you get to see the reindeer at the end of the parade. Okay. And who do you think that's directed towards? Who do we think, what portion of the audience do we think they keep trying to remind that Santa is coming? Okay, who do we think that is? I think you all know. They're aiming for the children, right? They're trying to get the children to stay watching so that they can see Santa at the end. And by the way, one of the great ways to get parents to stay is if the children are really excited, and to keep watching. So don't change the channel, Dad. Don't change the channel, Mom. We got Santa coming at the end. Okay. And then, okay. So my last thing here, it might be a bit controversial. The title of this slide is Luring Children. Yeah, SoCal, luring children because it's like there's constant reminders, like I said, from the hosts, that Santa Claus will be appearing last. This keeps children excited and sitting through the parade and makes them see all the other ads aimed at them throughout the parade because, God, there's a lot of ads aimed at the children, are there not? By the way, Santa Claus himself is a reminder of gift giving because it has to do with Christmas. So it's almost like a subliminal message. It's not subliminal because you can see it, but like a subconscious message. Buy, 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 buy. Don't forget. Maybe you could use one of these things as a gift. Buy, buy, buy. Purchase, commodify. Your kids want these gifts. Get these gifts. Santa Claus himself is a reminder of gifts, and given that the whole parade is an ad, it is a brilliant work of manipulation. Um, okay, to mix ideas of Christmas gifts with a parade full of ads for possible gift ideas, right? So, okay, so the whole thing is sort of a manipulation. Um, okay, whatever. I never understood why not just watch. What do you mean? What I never understood was why not just what? What do you mean, SoCal? Forgive me. I'm misinterpreting you there. Um, so okay, so that is my critique of the Thanksgiving Day parade. And I will point. So okay, so it's basically just a giant series of advertisements. And remember what we've talked about cultural materialism, the idea that our cultural beliefs and practices spring out of our economic and political system. This is an example of that. This is a big piece of American culture, and it's basically a giant ad. Um, okay, and everyone loves it, and it brings them great joy, even though it's all a giant propaganda thing trying to get you to purchase from big corporations. And, all the f I just something I can't stand is, like, fake smiles and laughter. It feels so Orwellian to me. So, like, that's one thing that drives me crazy is all the hosts are always smiling. "Oh, welcome to the parade. Oh," like, oh my god, it drives me insane. Okay. So, anyway, but you guys like what you want. Please forgive me if I'm taking some joy out of your lives. Please enjoy watching it. Just be aware of the message that it's trying to send you, okay? It is a propaganda. And honestly, folks, it's kind of funny. It reminds me of like a North Korean military parade, except that instead of being for the state, it's for corporations. And because corporations don't want to be viewed as threatening, uh, what I was meaning was why not just only watch the last 10 minutes and you'll still understand. That's true, SoCal. It's like it's an except it minus the, so it's like a state parade minus the fear of violence, okay? And it's like all these corporate "Whoa, whoa," okay, uh, right in your groove, I know, oh god, okay, yeah, I agree, I yeah, right, right, I'm sure that's what you from what I know of you, weird amorphous blob, I'm sure you believe that, okay? Just kidding. Yeah, I know in your groove. Okay, anyway, so that's the Thanksgiving Day parade. A lot of our stuff in America is that. Now, I will say Thanksgiving itself is not that. I mean that historically, okay? Historically, Thanksgiving was done well before. By the way, there were Thanksgiving celebrations well before the feast between the natives and the pilgrims, etc. It's kind of been a tradition for a long time. It was mainly a religious thing, giving thanks to God, but Thanksgiving is one of the less commodified, and it's still commodified, but it's one of the least commodified holidays we have, at least in my opinion. At least it's one of the most innocent ones. Let's put it that way. But of course, we can't we can't have Thanksgiving without some kind of massive commodification. So that is this, and then of course the day after Thanksgiving is Black Friday, which is what today? Is today Black Friday? Yes, it is. So anyway, all right. Secret Satan. Yeah, that's true. That was a good one, Mithril. All right, you guys. So let me take another bite of this food here. Again, folks, if we get two more super chats, I'll put on the caller. And if we get to five, we'll do the Kahoot. Okay. Well, actually, we might do the Kahoot anyway. I don't know why I said that because I said it. God, I must be high on these painkillers. Anyway, well, regardless. Okay. Let's get to, okay. I don't know. Whatever. Just give me five super chats. Give me a million super chats, folks. You know, I don't give a shit. It's good. All right. Um, okay. That is that. Absolutely, Sir Bartholomew, we are. Except we're mainly learning about Thanksgiving. In your groove, how dare you? In your groove, you know how to push my buttons. I in your groove, I swear to God. Okay, no, I'm just very high in your groove. Okay, I did Drusilla, but I'm on massive amounts of painkillers. I'm on an opiate called Tramadol, so I feel great right now. I feel great. Yeah. Yep. Totally mummified butterfly. Totally. Absolute slop. Okay. So Thank you, Dolly Boy, by the way. One more, folks, and I'll put on the collar. But I won't paywall the Kahoot. How about this? Well, if we get to 5, we'll do a GeoGuessr or some shit. I don't know why I put Kahoot there. Hey, yeah, that's true. Sure, Bartholomew, I gotta ask you. Sir Bartholomew. How dare you, Doug? You just want me to be high all the time, Doug. Okay, Sir Bartholomew. All right, y'all celebrate. Yeah, question, Sir Bartholomew. Is your Thanksgiving up there? There it is, SoCal. Okay. Don't worry, folks. Don't worry. Maybe I'll be sassy every other day too. Maybe I'll become addicted. Who knows? Okay. Just kidding. But, Sir Bartholomew, is it as commodified up in Canada as it is here? Thanksgiving. I honestly don't know. Okay. Yeah, I know. SoCal. Okay. I don't know. So, okay, let's go on to the next one. All right. So, okay, we're done with that. We're done with that. So, let's just do the Kahoot now. Okay. Fuck it. I don't know why I put that in the thing. I think I meant to, whatever. Fuck. It doesn't matter. If we get to 5 Kahoots, we'll do a GeoGuessr or some other game. Okay. But for now, we're going to do a Kahoot because I want to do a Kahoot. All right. I want to do a goddamn Kahoot. So let's do a Kahoot. It is Friday after all, and I don't want to break my promises. So, okay. So this Kahoot, oh, gotcha, Sir Bartholomew. Gotcha. That makes sense. Okay. All right. So here's the I'll copy and paste the pin. So if anyone wants to join and play the Kahoot, wait, today is oh, I'm sorry. In your groove, my apologies. Okay. Here is the link to the Kahoot for those who want it. All right. Boo. If you want to just click on that and join to play, there it is. Waiting for participants. So this Kahoot is going to be, hey, in your groove, hey, is going to be partially fun. It's going to also, there's not that many like questions from our past presentations because I'm sure none of you were prepared for that because we didn't review or any, well, fucking, I'm not going to do reviews anymore. That's too teachery. I need to be more entertaining and less teachery. All right. So, but regardless, you may all forget some of that crap. But there will be a lot of questions that are unrelated to anything we've done. That'll just be kind of like geography questions, things like that. Other random questions. Hello, Soup Cheese. Hello. Okay, we got Snowy Piranha 38, SoCal, Mithril, Weirdomorphous Blob, In Your Groove. Anyone else want to join? Soup Cheese, you should join. Join, Soup Cheese. Get up here, Soup Cheese. Mithril, Caring Hen. Aw. Lee Lane, yay. Okay. Oh, that's okay, Soup Cheese. Druzilla? No. Okay. No Pokemon questions this time. How dare you, Druzilla? Okay. Ooh, yeah, there's two of you, Mithril. And it's funny, Mithril, because one of yours has a monocle and the other one has like goggles. Sam Ho, I am a ho. I accept it. I agree. Oh, not in this one, Soup Cheese. I didn't put questions about anyone in this one, Soup Cheese, because I'm blasted out of my mind and I didn't want to take the time. So it's just regular trivia questions. But there will eventually be a question about you, Soup Cheese. I'm sure you know. Okay. Meowzord, excellent. Sam Ho. I prefer Slut, by the way. Not, anyway, just my preference. Drusilla, Lee Lane, Mithril, In Your Groove, Weirdomorphous Blob. Anyone else want to join? Should I wait? By the way, for those who are curious, I'm eating pumpkin pie and Apfelkuchen, which is a German apple custard kind of thing. It's very delicious. Very, very delicious indeed. Marlo. Hello, Marlo. Okay. Danko, Sam Slut. I got you, Mallory. Okay. I'm not a big fan, actually, of pecan pie. That's just me, but okay. Everyone ready? We got Marlo, Sam Slut, Meowsor, Drizilla, Lee Lane, In Your Groove, Weird Amorphous Blob, Mithril, SoCal, and Mithril. That's okay. Everyone ready? Maybe, Meowsor, that's possible. I'm going to give like 30 more seconds. Drizilla, We got Drizilla. Okay. Also, folks, one more super chat. I'll put on the caller. All right, let's begin. Shall we begin? Let's go. All right. So again, this one is not time-based. Sticking with my 100% win and participation rate. We'll see about that, Dolly Boy. We'll see about that. Okay. Yeah. Okay, let's go. Skip tutorial. Okay. All right. First question here. First question is the following. True or false? The one role of clothing is differentiating people based off wealth and power. True or false? One role of clothing is differentiating people based off wealth and power. Good. Yay, you all got it. Yay. That's fun. I mean, I'm not surprised. Not terribly surprised. Lee Lane, all of you got it. I'm not going to read through it. Next one here. It is well known by anthropologists that when it comes to clothing, fashion is often more important than what? It is well known by anthropologists that when it comes to clothing, fashion is often more important than what? Is it function, hair, time, or money? Function, hair, time, or money? Fashion, hair, time, or money? What do y'all think? Oh, thank you, Dolly Boy. You have been my hero the past few things. Yeah, most of you got it. It's function, right? Remember I showed you the night shoes that had the big spiky thing on the end of it that really had no function apart from the fact that it was considered fashionable at the time to have a really long toed thing on your night outfit. Okay. So fashion is oftentimes more important than function. There you go, Soup Cheese. The night stabby feet. Exactly. Okay. All right. Thank you again, Dolly Boy. Okay. Next one here. All right, we got Lee Lane, Marlowe, SoCal, Mithril, In Your Groove, Weird Amorphous Blob, Sam Slut, Durzilla, Lee Lane, Marlowe. Okay. Yay. Next one here. Next. Who is the current Prime Minister of the United Kingdom? Who is the current Prime Minister of the UK? Is it Rishi Sunak, Tony Blair, Keir Starmer, or Boris Johnson? Yeah, I know. We haven't really talked about this, but I'm just trying to see who knows it and who doesn't know it. I know it might be a bit biased given that there are several people here from the UK. We'll see. We'll see, Matt Saiga. We'll see how many people get it right. Sorry about that. Okay, most of you got it. 7 of you got it. Several of you got it. Okay. I know, God, Tony Blair. So you got it right. Okay. Though 2 people did say Tony Blair. Anyway, but that's okay. It happens. So 7 would be Keir Starmer. All right. Boris Yeltsin. All right. Let's go on to the next one. Okay. All right. SoCal, Mithril, In Your Groove, Weird Amorphous Blob, Meowzord, Sam Slut, Druzilla, SoCal, Mithril, In Your Groove. Okay. Wow, Sam Slut has the highest answer streak of 3. Wow, that's real slutty. Okay, yeah, it's hard because they cite that is true. Groove. I should perhaps do it quicker, but anyway. All right, I mean slower. All right, let's go on. Next one here. Casual Revolt recently showed a video on live stream that led to him receiving a copyright strike. What was the video about? What was the video about? Was it bicameral mind theory? Was it blowing up a beached whale? Was it Ren? Or was it churches refusing to give aid to pregnant women? Which of these videos resulted in me giving a don't you dare laugh at me, Dolly Boy. Resulted in me getting a copyright strike. All right, anyone know? Yay, most of you got it. It would be the beached whale. Video of them putting dynamite under a beached whale. Apparently it was not something I was allowed to show on stream. Did I, Macy? Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Weird Amorphous Blob. That's okay. I did blow up. That was the video where Beach Veil was blown up, though. Okay, fun. I'll always remember that. Lee Lane. Oh, okay. The six that got it. Lee Lane, Mithril, Maddox. Ooh, who's Maddox? Okay, In Your Groove, Meowzord, and Sam Slut. Excellent. It was copyright. I got a copyright strike, Soup Cheese, unfortunately. My first copyright strike. So I got to be extra careful now. All right. After reading his friend's poem, a government official during the Song Dynasty responded with what one-word response? Okay. What after reading his friend's poem? Yes, Meowser, we did. I briefly watched a video. I think that you posted about it. Okay, but I was gonna do more on it. Do we? That's okay. Do we remember what that one-word response was to the government official? Or it's okay, Meowser. I'll do it again. Okay, I was gonna do a longer stream on it. Woo! Okay, we got a three-way tie. Three-way tie. Three-way tie. I don't know. That's weird, Soup Cheese. Okay. So the correct answer was fart. I don't know if I'll remember that. Is the poem friend sent a big, a long, beautiful poem, and then his government official friend responded with fart. Okay. Anyway. All right. Only three got it. Mithril, Meowzord, and Druzilla. Ooh, okay. That's so weird that I don't know why that's auto-modded. I don't know. That's weird too. I'll try to figure that out. I'll have to check. It wasn't my fault. I'll put it that way. Mithril has a streak with 5 correct answers in a row. Okay. True or false? The women executed during the Salem witch trials were practicing witchcraft. True or false? The women executed during the Salem witch trials were practicing witchcraft. Now, you know that this one is sort of a pet peeve of mine. I hope everyone gets it right. Okay. It's a pet peeve of mine because there's a lot of, well, I don't want to give anything away. All right. Enchanted girl, but they were not practicing witchcraft, folks. Okay. Remember how I told you one of the things that annoys me? I have nothing against Wiccan people or people who practice witchcraft, like in a religious sense. Is the fact that in Salem, Massachusetts today, why would Soup Cheese? How dare you? Okay, and today in Salem, there are tons of Wiccan people that live there. Because they view it as a religious site because these women have been executed there. But that annoys me because the women that were executed there were innocent victims that had nothing to do with witchcraft. Anyway, there's nothing wrong with practicing Wiccan, but it just annoys me how there's some people that paint them as being actual witches, which is not. That's not why they were persecuted. They were persecuted because they were women and because they were on the edges of society and there were social. Okay, we did a whole thing on it. I'll do an even longer. Is that true, Mithra? Okay. We'll do a whole. I'll do a whole stream on the Salem witch trials at some point. Okay. Lee Lane, Marlowe, SoCal, Mithril, In Your Groove, Weird Amorphous Blob, Meowzord, Sam Slut, Lee Lane. Okay, excellent. Mithril still has the highest answer streak. Fantastic. Let's go on. An emic approach is when you analyze a culture from whose perspectives? Remember, there's two kinds of approaches here, emic and etic. An emic approach is where you analyze a culture from what perspective? Ooh, let's see if you guys remember this. There's actually a pretty easy way of remembering this. Hilarious, Soup Cheese. Okay. Technically, Soup Cheese, warlock is a made-up term, so technically men are witches too. Mithril, am I right about? I don't know. You might not know this either, Mithril. I'm stereotyping Mithril because of your religious beliefs. But isn't it true that men are also called witches? All right. That is true, Soup Cheese. That's a fair point. Okay. So correct. Most of you got it right. It was the perspective of someone within. Thank you for that, Soup Cheese. I had no idea. Okay, just kidding. All right. Okay, I thought so. Paranormal. Okay. So the perspective of someone within a culture. Okay. I don't blame you. Okay. So emic perspective is when you look at something from the perspective of someone within that culture. All right. An etic perspective. So E-mic as in me, my perspective being within the culture, okay? E-tick is when you're outside the culture and you're examining it from an outsider's perspective. Okay. All right. So what I did today with the parade was an E-tick perspective, not an E-mic perspective. Okay, I'm moving on. Lee Lane, SoCal, Weird Amorphous Blob, Meowzord, Sam Slut, and Druzilla. Woo! Okay. I got you. I got you, Mithra. That's a fair point. Okay. Meowzord has a streak with 5 correct answers in a row. All right. By the way, Meowzord making me incredibly jealous by all the things he posts on Discord in regards to food because he's clearly a very good food cook. Which god pictured below was murdered by Seth, then resurrected by Isis? Which god pictured below was murdered by Seth, then resurrected by ISIS? I don't mean the the organization from the Middle East. Okay, I mean the god ISIS. Okay. I suspect the group ISIS would not be a fan of any polytheistic deity of any kind. Anyway, we got okay, yeah, okay. Ooh, guys, I am furious at all of you. Angry beyond belief. Okay, not really, but 4 of you got it right. Osiris is the correct answer here. Osiris is the correct answer. Okay. So the 4 that got it would be, I'm so mad at all of you. I'm not really. Mithril, Meowzord, Sam Slut, and Druzilla. Meowzord has the highest answer streak of 6. Okay. Okay, that is true. Outer Signal, very true. Okay. All right. Here we go. According to the ancient Egyptians, Ma'at and Ishfet are opposing ideas. What is Ishfet? Is it order and justice, chaos and war, fertility and prosperity, or pain and childbirth? Thank you, Soup Cheese. Thank you, Soup Cheese, for being disappointed for me. Okay. I know, Outer Signal. I got a question for you, Outer Signal, in this presentation, by the way. Excellent. Okay. Okay, that's good. Hey, I'll buy it. Most of you chose one of the 2 ones that are right in terms of Ma'at is order and justice. So some of you just mix them up. That's fine. So Ishfet is chaos and war. Ma'at is order and justice. Okay. So I accept that. I accept that error. Mithril, Weird Amorphous Blob, Meowzord, and Druzilla. Fantastic. 3 in the row. Druzilla is back in the game. Yay. All right. Let's go to the next one here. Who famously declared, "God is dead"? I'm sorry, was that rude? I could, Soup Cheese. Actually, let's do that, Soup Cheese. Let's say if we get 7. Actually, let's say if we get 5, we'll do a Q&A, Soup Cheese. Okay, how about that? All right, yay! You all good. Okay, wow, that was quick. Yeah, you almost all got that. Friedrich Nietzsche declared God is dead. Okay, Lee Lane, Marlowe, Mithril, In Your Groove, Weird Amorphous Blob, Meowzord, Sam Shit, Sam Slut, excuse me, Druzilla, okay, all right. I don't know, Druzilla, good question. True or false? Nietzsche believed that life was meaningless, so we are all doomed to despair and nihilism. True or false? Hmm. Hmm. This one might be tricky for some folks. Right, Dolly Boy? Okay, good. Most of you got it right. Remember, Nietzsche was an optimist. He said, no, this is actually a good thing. We should be very optimistic because this means that we can control the meaning in our lives and things like that. Okay? All right. So, Lee Lane, Mithril, In Your Groove, Weird Amorphous Blob, Meowzord, and Sam Slut. Excellent. Right, Soup Cheese. Okay, just kidding. It is Dolly Boy. It really is. Okay, where is the Taj Mahal located? Here's an image of it. Where is it located? Optimus Prime, I like that, Mithril. Where is the Taj Mahal located? Is it Pakistan, Nepal, Vietnam, or India? Where is it located? It's a beautiful building. Oh, good. You all got it. Excellent. Excellent. Taj Mahal was a gift. Dolly Boy, you're 100% right. A lot of theists get super offended after hearing the God is dead part, and then they don't read the rest of it, so they get stuck at, well, he was just a he was just a complete pessimist. He said God was dead. Okay. No soup cheese. Very funny though. Uh that for a moment, that is fair. That is fair. Though, for a moment, I will say, with how I presented it in person, I made it clear that I would have wanted you to say no, but that's a fair point for a moment. Okay. All right. So India. Lee Lane, Marlowe, Mithril, In Your Groove, Weirdomorphous, Blob, Meowzord, Sam Slut, Druzilla, Lee Lane, Marlowe. Okay, In Your Groove is back with an answer streak of 3. Oof. All right, here we go. On November 26th, 2 members of the National Guard were shot in a targeted attack. Where did this attack take place? Where did this attack take place? Meowzord, how dare you? You know, Meowzord, you know. Okay. Okay, yeah, funny, Meowzord, you got it right. I guess you didn't need to know the year, Meowzord. Guess you didn't need to know the year. Okay, anyway, I'm calm. Yeah, so that would have been DC. Uh, uh, okay. Mar-a-Lago never existed, neither did Epstein or of course not soup cheese, okay? Uh, oh, I know. No, isn't it funny, folks, how, like, the guy that did the shooting, was an Afghani, but and he was in the CIA. But of course, so what I would do is I'd be like, look at this member of the CIA who did this shooting. That's not surprising at all. But of course, Trump is focusing. He's an immigrant. He's from Afghanistan. Okay, okay, well, whatever. All right. Okay. So, Lee Lane, Marlowe, Mithril, In Your Groove, Weirdomorphous Blob, Meowzord, Sam Slut, Druzilla, Lee Lane. Okay, Meowzord has a streak. I think Meowzord's going to win this probably. Okay, yeah, you're right. But Weirdomorphous Blob about that. Okay, Meowzord streak with 11 correct answers in a row. Let's go to the next one. On November 26th, a fire tore through a pair of high-rise apartment buildings in China. Where did this happen? Was it Beijing, Hong Kong, Shanghai, or Guangzhou? This was sort of a headline news thing. Okay, I'm just kind of throwing crap at you now. Soup cheese. Guangzhou. Oh, my thank you, Meowsword. Really, thank you. I don't know how to speak it very well. Okay, Guangzhou. All right. Yeah, most of you got it right. Hong Kong is the correct answer. Okay, Hong Kong is the correct answer. All right. Okay. All right. So Mithril, In Your Groove, Weirdomorphous Blob, Meowzord, Sam Slut, and Druzilla. All right. Next one here. On Thursday, Trump stated that he would begin to take what action to take what action against drug trafficking networks in Venezuela. Soup cheese, Jesus Christ. All right. On Thursday, I know you're joking. On Thursday, Trump stated that he would begin to take what actions against drug trafficking networks in Venezuela? More attacks on boats, attacks against land targets, major economic sanctions. Yeah, good. Most of you got it. I think I accidentally made that too short. You probably needed more time for that. He said that he would likely be doing attacks against land targets. Okay. Isn't that fun? I'm so excited for that. Okay. Yay. All right. Gotta love American imperialism. All right. Okay. Mithril, In Your Groove, Weirdomorphous Blob, Meowzord, and Druzilla. All right. Meowzord, 13 correct in a row. Next one here. What is the capital of Brazil? What is the capital of Brazil? Is it Sao Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, Brasilia, or Salvador? What is it? What is the capital of Brazil? This is a pretty picture, by the way, of Brazil. Is Victoria here? That's fair, Brazil. Okay, yeah. I know a lot of these are American-centric questions, by the way. At least the last ones were. Okay, 4 of you got it right. 4 of you got it incorrect. The answer is Brasilia. Okay, Brasilia. All right. These Brazilians. All right, Mithril, In Your Groove. Meowzord and Drizilla. Great job. All right. What ocean was most recently added by geographers to the list of oceans on the planet? Is it the Southern Ocean, the Arctic Ocean, the Indian Ocean, or the Pacific Ocean? I know some of these questions are out of nowhere. Forgive me. Okay. Some of you may not have even known that this ocean was added because I didn't until recently. I had no reason to know about it, and now I've learned about it that it was added. Yeah, the Southern Ocean. That was a new ocean that now exists, folks. Kind of like how Pluto is no longer a planet. We now have a new ocean on the planet, and it's the Southern Ocean. Okay. Uh, yeah, we did, Sir Bartholomew. So there is actually I get it, Mithril. I gotta tell you though, Mithril, like a lot of people I know didn't even know this because you learn about it in school, and then unless you're paying attention to the oceans, it's right. Shocking, Dolly Boy. It's in the south. Who would have thought? It's right near Antarctica. It's a new ocean. Okay. Yeah, we got a new ocean DLC, 100%. Okay, so another Skyrim DLC here, Hearthstone or something or whatever it is. Okay, so Southern Ocean, not Hearthstone, whatever. Fuck it. Okay, so good job for those. Mithril in your groove, Weird Amorphous Blob, Meowzord and Sam Slut. Fantastic. Okay, fantastic. Okay. This one is, what is the hottest planet in our solar system? I know these are random. I don't give a shit. What is the hottest planet in our solar system? What is the hottest planet in our solar system? It's something like 600 and some degrees Fahrenheit. For the Europeans out there, don't ask me what it is in Celsius. That's not a real thing. And the correct it is. Oh, most of you got it wrong. Got to go for a bit. Okay, thank you, Soup Cheese. You too. Bye bye. Okay, so it is Venus. Venus is the hottest planet. Mercury is the closest to the sun, but Venus is the hottest. You know why it's the hottest? Is because it has a thick layer of clouds and gases that massively amplify the greenhouse effect. So it's very, very hot. Okay, it is a future of what our planet will look like. So only two of you got that. That'd be Marlowe and Meowzord. Great, great to see that. Okay. Last week, so what country in Africa has the highest population? It totally is, Dolly Boy. CR forgot it while trying to name all the countries of the world. And I'm pretty sure there's at least one. I'm not going to name this person. One person in here will appreciate that I asked this question. Don't indicate who you are because it might give away what the country is. Okay. All right. What country in Africa has the highest population? Okay. Meows. Good, you all got it. Okay, well, most of you got it. It is Nigeria, which I embarrassingly forgot to add there. Nigeria has the largest population. It has like over 200 million people in it. I mean, it is a massive country in terms of population. It's getting up there to being close to the United States in terms of population. I mean, by almost 100 million, but like anyway. Okay, thank you. There you go, Outer Signal. Okay, there's my offering of forgive. I hope you forgive me for my error. Okay, a few days ago. All right, Mithril in your groove, Weird Amorphous Blob, Meowzord, Sam's a Slut, and Druzilla. Okay, here we go. Which Netflix show has received the most views of all time? Which of these Netflix shows has received the most views of all time? Is it Wednesday, Stranger Things, Bridgerton, or Adolescence? Which Netflix show has received the most views of all time? Oh my God. Mm-mm-mm. The correct answer is Wednesday. You all got it wrong. I know. I actually was shocked by that too, but the first season of Wednesday got more views than even Stranger Things did. I believe Stranger Things or Adolescence is number 2. Wednesday is number 1. I know. You all got it. Isn't that shocking? It shocked me too. All right, that's okay though. You all got it wrong. Yeah, Wednesday. Okay. Thanks, Dolly Boy. Okay. So it is Wednesday, right? I know. It's surprising, right? All right. I would have guessed Stranger Things, but I would have got it wrong. Okay. So moving on here. Let's see who won. Bronze. The bronze goes to four of you tied for the bronze in your groove. Weirdomorphous Blob. Sam is a slut. Mithril. 17 out of 20. Fantastic Mithril. Okay. And gold goes to Meowzord. Hey, Meowzord. Okay, Meowzord number 1. Meowzord is now the King of Fools for the next 2 weeks. Mithril, I guess, is the Duke of Fools, and then the 4 rest of you are barons, are fools of baron, or what is it, like I don't know, baron fools. That sounds bad. Okay, okay. No. How about this? Meowzord's the King of Fools. Mithril is the Duke of Fools, and then the rest are Fool Lords. Okay, there we go. Okay, clearly, it was there, Matt Zygai. Clearly, the question thing was Baron Fools, right? It sounds kind of bad, though, doesn't it, Drizel? Okay. All right, guys. So, great job. That was fun. I am greatly amused. I hope you are, too. Take another bite of my Apfelkuchen. So, folks, if we get... I know. It's okay now. I was eating. But anyway, so... All right. So that was good. Enjoyed that thoroughly. I'm going to skip all this shit. Don't look at me that way, Drusilla, okay? All right. So now that we've completed our lovely little game, let's talk about some shit, shall we? All right. So... All right, guys. So, what was I going to say? Oh, so by the way, folks, I got this. I wanted to show you all. I won't show you now because I don't really have a use for it right now. You see this thing? This is a really cool thing. I got cake on it. I mean, I got some pie on it. This will allow me, because I'm like, I really miss when I was a teacher and I had like a whiteboard and I could write on the whiteboard. So I got a virtual whiteboard. So I can now, when I'm talking to you, I can actually write on the screen like a whiteboard. So I can like actually write shit down so that you can see it. So I'm very excited to use this as my new whiteboard to write crap on the screen for all of you. And I can be more teachery than ever. Really, Meowzord? Okay, yeah, well, that would have been a good suggestion, Meowzord. So we'll do that, because I can't wait to do some more some written present. You do? Does it work pretty well, SoCal, I hope? Okay. So, all right, I've tried it and it seems to work pretty well. I have to get used to sort of looking at the screen while I'm doing it, though. So, all right, here's the thing, guys. I thought I could do a reaction video. Do I really want to do a reaction video? This is an older Prageru video, I guess. This is from 8 years ago, but I came across it and it blew my mind that this was that. Anyway, you know what? Let's just do this. I'm just going to, maybe I'll watch it with you guys now, and then I'll do a separate reaction to it later when I'm not so high on painkillers. So let's just watch it together. Let's see what we think about it, okay? So this is I know, I'm sorry, Rosilla. I'm very sorry, okay? This is called "If There Is No God, Murder Isn't Wrong." Well, that's a way to title a video, isn't it? If there is no God, murder isn't wrong. Right? Hilarious. Okay. I know. Me too, Meowzord. Okay. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Okay. Hey, it's okay, guys. I know everyone here hates Prageru, so do I, but if you guys have noticed, I have a seething hatred for Prageru because I'm a teacher and I know that this is being taught in classrooms. And I just have like a seething hatred and I constantly need to try and counter it. So, all right. Um, by the way, they're trying to open up basically PragerU schools now. They are trying to open up PragerU schools. All right. Let me say that again. They're trying to open up PragerU schools now. All right. Okay. I'm high. What do you mean it's unfair? I just have. Uh, okay. Let's just watch this real fast. Hopefully, it won't take too long. Okay. All right. Let's go. All right. I actually might need some more meds. My mouth is starting to ache a little bit. Okay. All right. Here we go.
Do you believe that good and evil exist? The answer to this question separates Judeo-Christian values from secular values. Let me offer the clearest possible example. Murder.
No, first of all.
Is murder wrong? Is it evil? Nearly everyone would answer yes, but now I will pose a
Well, here's the thing. Just to make this harder for him, let's give Dennis a little bit of a handicap here, okay? Let's give him a little bit of a handicap. Let's say, in theory, there's nothing is good or evil, right? Nothing is good or evil. Those are sort of terms of judgment. I'm not saying I don't think there should be things labeled good or evil, but just for the sake of helping him out with his argument, let's just say that there is no such thing as good and evil, okay? I can still win the argument even if we assume that. In your groove, Judeo-Christian is just another way to say biblical and sound academic. Oh, it totally is. It totally is in your groove. Right.
much
Okay.
harder question.
And I would argue that it's not even true in your groove because there's plenty of times in the Bible where there's mass murder that happens and it's not considered evil or bad. Okay. So I guess it depends, right?
How do you know? I'm sure you think murder is wrong, but how do you know? If I asked you how you know,
So I would argue, folks, I would argue that, and this is debated. There's a lot of academic debate around this, but it is a universal value amongst human beings that murder is wrong. Okay, that is one cultural universal. Every culture on Earth views murder as wrong. Now there are different definitions of what constitutes murder, right? Murder is unjustified killing. So there's different definition of what justifies killing, but everyone on the earth agrees that murder is wrong. Some anthropologists would say that it is literally an evolved human trait that's sort of structured into our brains that things like murder are bad. Others say it has just become a human universal because societies can't function if that wasn't a universal. I tend to lean more towards it's an inherent biological thing, honestly. I think it's a combination. But yeah. So he just said, like, everyone thinks murder is wrong, but how do you know? Well, maybe that's because it is literally just part of what humans are. Human beings sort of have an innate sense of murder bad. That is an evolutionary trait because we are group animals, right? We need to live in communities, and those that weren't able to not commit murder would pretty much die pretty quickly, right? Like if you thought murder was okay, you'd pretty quickly be killed by another human being. So there is sort of a evolutionary advantage to not committing murder, okay? Anyway, all right.
that the Earth is round, you would show me photographs from outer space or offer me measurable data. But what photographs could you show? What measurements could you provide that prove that murder or rape or theft is wrong? The fact is, you can't. There are scientific facts, but without God, there are no moral facts.
Wait, okay, so you know what? Here's the thing. So again, I will buy this. Let's say because you're right, like we can't if we say everything is relative, then yeah, I guess you can't prove murder is bad unless there's some sort of goal behind it. Like what is the goal here? If the goal is to have a society that is functional and you think that people matter and that humans matter, then yeah, then murder is bad. But I do think it's funny that let's say God did say that murder was bad. How is that an objective analysis of what makes murder bad? You see what I mean? Like, why would a deity saying that murder is bad automatically make it bad? What does that deity have some sort of monopoly on truth then? Like, you see what I mean? I don't understand that argument either. Just because a God says it, that makes it, just because someone says it or some God says it makes it automatically bad. See, like, so even that argument's flawed. Okay. All right.
In a secular world, there can only be opinions about morality. They may be personal opinions or society's opinions, but only.
Yeah, but societies can construct moralities, right? And then they are applied universally within that society. Like, yeah, okay. But all right.
Opinions.
Yeah, Dolly Boy.
Every atheist philosopher I have read or debated.
Well, Dolly Boy, that's a great point. Dolly Boy says the deity that sent out a flood to murder millions and purify the earth. So does that mean that that was automatically moral? It's moral to murder millions of people all across the planet with a flood, just because a God did it? Or the fact that in the Bible that there are multiple instances where God orders genocides and things like that, that must mean that genocide is moral. You see what I mean? Like, this is why the idea of that religious folks have that because a God is what provides morality to things. How? How does that justify the morality of anything, even if there's a deity that says that those things are good or bad? The answer, by the way, folks, is pretty obvious: power. The conservative Christian point of view is that the thing that has the most power can make the morals. It's a very authoritarian mindset, right? It's a very, very authoritarian mindset that the thing that has the most power automatically must be right, and you must follow their orders, and they must be moral about everything. As I've said before, I think someone else said this too. It's like a celestial North Korea. Okay. All right.
On this subject has acknowledged that if there is no God, there is no objective morality. Judeo-Christian values are predicated on the existence of a God of morality. In other words, only if there is a God who says murder is murder wrong. Otherwise, all morality is opinion. The entire Western world.
Again, though, why does a God saying it make it not more than just God's opinion?
What we call Western civilization is based on this understanding. Now, let me make two things clear. First, this doesn't mean that if you don't believe in God, you can't be a good person. There are plenty of kind and moral individuals who don't believe in God and Judeo-Christian values.
Oh, guys, did you hear that? Did you hear that? That was weirdly nice of him. He just admitted that people who don't believe in God can be kind and moral. Fascinating.
But the existence of these good people has nothing to do with the question of whether good and evil really exist if there is no God. Second, there have been plenty of people who believed in God who were not good people. Indeed, more than a few have been evil and have even committed evil in God's name. The existence of God doesn't ensure people will do good. I wish it did. The existence of God only ensures that good and evil objectively exist and are not merely opinions. Without God, we therefore end up with what is known as moral relativism, meaning that morality is not absolute, but only relative to the individual or to the society.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, again, I love they have such an authoritarian view of the world. Like, they need it to be absolute. They need absolutism in everything, right? It needs to be absolute. Guess what? We can have a functioning society by developing our own moral systems, right? And you know what? I almost prefer that because that means we have room to make errors, right? We can improve our moral systems if we find they're not working very well, or that they need some sort of addition or subtraction. We can improve our moral systems. You cannot do that, though, with an absolute sense of morality, right? Like, think about the abortion debate. For a lot of people, there's an absolute morality there. Life begins at conception. You can't. There's no around the edges there, right? Life begins at conception. If you do anything to the embryo or the goo that's in there, you're automatically committing murder, and there's no room for exception or change there, right? Okay.
Without God, the words good and evil are just another way of saying I like and I don't like. If there is no God, the statement murder is evil is the same as the statement.
Yeah, and guess what? I have found that the majority of people, actually, I don't think I've ever met a person that I'm aware of that likes murder. There are some, but they're few and far between, and we typically ascribe them to having a mental condition of some sort. Anyway, but like, I would bet most of you out there have never murdered someone, have never committed an assault of some sort, have never done anything particularly horrific. Okay, some of you may have, but because most people don't do these things, right? That it is against our nature, and there's a lot of trauma that comes with it. Anyway,
I don't like murder. Now, many will argue that you don't need moral absolutes. People won't murder because they don't want to be murdered. But that argument is just wishful thinking. Hitler, Stalin, and Mao didn't want to be murdered, but that hardly stopped them from murdering about 100 million people. It is not a coincidence that the rejection of Judeo-Christian values in the Western world by Nazism and communism led.
by the way, it's just not true. In Nazism, Hitler was a Catholic. He was an atheist, but he was raised as a Catholic. A lot of Christianity mixed into it. Even the swastika had sort of a Christian connotation to it, even though it was partially derived from India, from something in India. Like, there was okay. By the way, I agree though that the Soviet Union was atheistic, but Nazism and communism were sort of religious, but in their own secular way, right? It was like really, it was like a secular religiosity, and they had rituals and they had beliefs that were not like in a god, but were definitely sort of religious in some ways. Yeah, there you go, weird amorphous blob. Ignore colonial violence, and also to compare the two is funny too. But anyway, yeah, the twisted cross. Right, you're right, Meowsort, and that's the other point. Like Christian America, murdering natives and things like that. Okay, the Crusades, all that other shit. Hilarious to me. Hilarious to me.
To the murder of all these innocent people. It is also not a coincidence that the first societies in the world to abolish slavery, an institution that existed in every known society in human history, were Western societies rooted in Judeo-Christian values.
Nope. As a matter of fact, folks, you know what ended slavery and shit like that? Well, in America, there was a religious element to it, but I will say though, slavery was also supported by religious values. So it depend if you were pro-slavery, you used the pro-slavery part of the Bible, parts of the Bible, or quotes from the Bible that were pro-slavery, that to support that, or you to back up, or if you were anti-slavery, you would use anti-slavery parts of the Bible to support that. It can really support any side, right? What really ended slavery was the Enlightenment, I would say, and not in Europe at least. It was sort of these Enlightenment values, these ideas of liberty and justice for all and crap like that. It's not crap, but you see what I mean. And then there were other places in the world that ended it at various times for various reasons. Okay, right.
And so were the first societies to affirm universal human rights, to emancipate women.
Oh my God.
And to proclaim the value of liberty. Today, the rejection of Judeo-Christian values and moral absolutes has led to a world of moral confusion.
By the way, you know why Europe was able to do that? Or the West, I hate that phrase, but the West was able to do that. You need a certain level of economic development and things like that to have a society functional in a way that those things can be achieved. I don't know how else to phrase that. They achieved it by looting everywhere else in the world, which granted Europe a certain amount of wealth that kind of allowed them to build this more middle class based society, I guess you could say. This industrialized society. So great, yeah, big pile of skulls there. They built all those ideas on a giant pile of skulls. And you're totally right, weird amorphous blob. It was, 1917 Russia, what definitely emancipated women first. Okay. Why do animals help other animals? They're not Christian. Matt Meowser, and this is my point, Meowser. I do think it is an inherent trait in human beings. We are altruistic. We try to help each other. There's a reason why you feel empathy for other people. Um, yeah, I agree, Meowsord. Like, other animals do it too. And sometimes, by the way, other animals will help animals that aren't their own species, just like we do. There you go, Mithril. Yep. You're right, Mithril. Ashoka abolished the slave trade. Yep. Mm-hmm.
In the New York Times in March 2015, a professor of philosophy confirmed this. He wrote, "What would you say if you found out that our public schools were teaching children that it is not true that it's wrong to kill people for fun? Would you be surprised? I was." The professor then added, "The overwhelming majority of college freshmen view moral claims as mere opinions."
Well, they're being well educated then, right? That is against. So this is so dumb. Having the idea that moral claims are opinion is an anti-authoritarian critical thinking way thing of doing things, right? Like, you that doesn't mean they have bad moral opinions. It just is that they acknowledge that when other people are imposing, saying certain things are good or bad, you should think for yourselves, right? And I have faith people generally come to the right conclusion there. And you're totally right, Malzor. That is very MAGA. These ideas right here. Uh, yeah. It's just that MAGA comes to the very wrong conclusions, right? Yeah, you're right, Dolly Boy. Okay. Um, all right. Oh, you're totally right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, right, Meowsord, okay, and that's where so that's like so exam for Meowsord says, this is interesting. "Hello, Ida, how you doing, Ida?" Meowsord says, "Should we kill immigrants?" Yes, now this is what Meowsord's saying, he's talking about MAGA. Should we kill immigrants?" Yes, the law doesn't allow it." Okay, well, that's just my opinion. And see, this is why, morality is to an extent, as I was saying, I will acknowledge that morality can be sort of an opinion. This is why social pressure is important because that is a horrific belief and that needs to be pushed back against, right? I think MAGA is able to get away with this shit because they're in communities that offer no pushback and they don't get humiliated when they give those opinions and shit like that. Morality can really only work if there is social consequences for having morals that are bad, right? Getting social pushback, getting isolated socially, because that's insane that they would believe that. All right.
So then, whatever you believe about God or religion, here is a fact. Without a God who is the source of morality, morality is just a matter of opinion. So, if you want a good world,
Again, it's just a matter of opinion, even if there is a God.
the death of Judeo-Christian values should frighten you. I'm Dennis Prager.
Apparently, I guess Islam doesn't have strong good versus evil values. I guess Hinduism doesn't either. I mean, like, I love this focus on Judeo Christianity. By the way, it is bullshit. There's history in this. Judaism is different from Christianity. There's been a long trend, especially amongst the evangelical right and Jewish folks, like Jewish right wingers, to conflate Judaism and Christianity and say it's Judeo Christianity. They have a similar origin, but weirdly enough, Islam also has a similar origin, but they don't include Islam in there anyway. Okay. Um, all right. Hiyori, that's okay, Hiyori, and I'm just saying that if I'm going to accept their argument that morality is just an opinion, I don't fully buy that. I feel that there are certain that you can uh well, go ahead and tell me what you mean here. I was just accepting that for the sake of giving Dennis Prager a handicap in the video, and I was to show that I could be wrong even. There you go, weird amorphous blob. Ultimately, I think morality is literally inscribed within our genetics. Um, so Anyway, my thought here is that morality is, like I said, is has evolved in us. People with that are more altruistic tended to survive better in large communities, inside of communities, because we are social creatures. So I feel that most morality, things that we view as inherently good, come from evolution. Um, I that's my thought on the matter. And I would argue, folks, I think I've said this before. Can you imagine if the Hebrews, the people that supposedly were slaves in Egypt? They weren't. There's zero archaeological evidence that there were any Jewish people enslaved in Egypt. Imagine if they thought that murder and stealing, and crap like that was okay before they got to Mount Sinai and received the Ten Commandments. I suspect they wouldn't have survived as a people for very long if everyone was just killing each other, stealing from each other, assaulting each other. They had to, they had to sort of, um, they had to have some sense of those things being true to live as a society, did they not? Okay, so you don't need the God aspect to have those opinions. And like I said, it's a cultural universal. Uh, if morality is just an opinion, I feel like that's just an excuse for people to commit uh, the bad deeds. Oh, that's fair, Hiyori. That's fair. Uh, so, Hiyori, what would you say would be a morally objective stance? Yeah, I agree. Outer signal. I mean, definitely society is important in this regard. It sort of is filtered through cultural and society lenses. This innate sense of morality, but there are certain beliefs that are universal, and those are the ones I'm mainly focusing on. Yeah, there are certain beliefs that are mainly universal, like killing bad, things like that are universal. Let me actually look up a list of the values that are culturally universal. Um, Universal values, culturally. Let's see here. Uh, Bravery, showing respect for the property of others, fundamental moral rules. Mm, I can find a better one here. Uh, all right, let me see here. So, let me find this one, mapping it. All right. Desire freedom to. Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't trust any of these guys. I don't know, because I need to look more into this. Okay. Anyway, but yeah. So there are universal values out there. Um, uh, Yeah, I agree, Hiyori. I think there are default values in people. Not all values at all. In different societies, anyway. But I think a lot of values. I mean, we know for a fact that there are a lot of values that are culturally universal. Um, I'm thinking of the most general terms. No, you're right. And that's my thought here, guys, is that like for example, murder is defined differently in different societies, but a prohibition against unjustified killing is common against all societies. So, yeah, they define murder differently in all societies, but murder is prohibited in all societies. Does that make sense? So, as in, there are certain forms of killing that are considered justified, and that's different from society to society, but no society thinks unjustified killing is good. For example, um, the Aztecs thought it would have been justified to do human sacrifices. That was considered a moral form of killing. In our society, we view like war, a warrior is a justified form of killing. If you're fighting in a war for the sake of the state, it's justified. You're no longer a murderer; you're a warrior. Yeah, but the idea is that different form, but the form, the killing. You see what I mean? Okay. Hiyori, what about North Korean society, Hiyori? What do you mean? Um, what specifically about it? Because murder is not looked they don't like murder in North Korea either. They don't like stealing. They don't like murder. But again, that's depends on how you define murder and how you define killing and things like that. But there is an idea that killing for unjustified reasons is bad. Yes. Thank you so much, Matt Saigai, for the super chat there. Okay, thank you. Uh, so does that make sense? I know I might. I hope I didn't mislead anyone there. I was playing the devil's advocate by playing along with his idea that morality is not set in stone. And to be honest, I mean, it really isn't. It's sort of a human invention. But my thought here, folks, is that there are certain things that are inherent to humans when it comes to morality. So that doesn't mean that there isn't a morality out there that is best for humans, because I think there is. If that makes sense. I know I'm kind of rambling now, but I have drugs in my system, so okay. All right. That was okay. Um, okay, I thought they were in a dictatorship. No, they do. Hiyori, their government executes people, do they not? But that they don't view that as murder, right? The Kim regime doesn't view that as murder. You see what this is what I mean. Every society views murder as bad. They just have different definitions about what it means, right? Uh, so um, the only time when morality gets out of hand is when it's used to divide and control people. That's what moralism. Yeah, absolutely. Um, and I would say that there are certain, and like I said, it's better that morality is not set in stone, folks. I'm saying that because I know I'm often a pessimist, but I have a lot of faith in humanity. If morality is not set in stone, that means we can change it and make it better over time, and we can adapt to new situations. Okay. Like if it's set in stone, like it's brought to us from by God or something like that, which still doesn't make it set in stone, it kind of ruins it, right? It means that it's unchanging. That leads more to authoritarian type things. Um, okay. So, um, if that makes sense. Okay. All right. I'm going to put my face back up, folks. All right, you guys. Forgive me if I know I'm rambling on here. How's everyone doing out there? Good morning. Yeah. Okay. I used to do I used to ask my students, my seniors, I wouldn't do this with younger students. This would only be with seniors who are 18 years old. I would always ask them, what's the difference between a murderer and a warrior? Um, okay. What's the difference between a murderer and a warrior? Uh, and okay, first of all, Meowzord. Um, yeah, you guys are right. Okay. Meowzord, well, other people shouldn't decide who to kill, only I should. That's the issue, Meowzord. See, this is my thing. Meowzord, I don't think Meowzord meant this, but this is my point in a very interesting way. Okay. So, like, I think, like, if let's say the vast majority of humans, I think, have the right morality inside them. Okay. They know what's right or wrong. They know killing is bad. They know things like that is bad. The issue is that you then get people in power, all right, who remember cultural materialism, who then create an ideology that benefits power and makes it okay in circumstances that benefit them. And then they have to do a lot of work to convince people that it's okay. For example, fighting in war. There is tons of propaganda out there trying to convince people to join the military, saying that fighting is glorious. You're fighting for America. The killing you're doing is a good thing, okay? Even though that fighting and that killing does horrific mental damage, psychiatric damage to the people doing it, it leaves scars for life. It can often result in their death or their later unaliving of themselves because it's kind of against their humanity to do it. But our society makes it okay in that circumstance, even though it's bad for those people for some function, right? So, yeah. Well, I like how Malzord phrased that. It's not okay. It's only okay when I do it. When I say, like, when a leader says it or does it, it is not okay when everyone else does it. And remember what the definition of a government is. The definition of a government, I mean, of a state, according to Max Weber, is the state has a monopoly on the legitimate use of force. So governments are viewed as being the only part of a society that can legitimately use force and violence. That seems to be very beneficial for them, doesn't it? So, yeah. Uh, but most people, the average person has a good sense of like I would much rather like, I would trust all of you out there watching right now to make a moral decision far more than I would like, far more than I would like Congress or like a CEO or something. You see what I mean? Exactly, Malzard, exactly. Okay. So, but I think like the average person does have a good sense of morality. And we can see this that like in hunter-gatherer societies where there was no real structured leadership, there we have very little evidence of well, I shouldn't really say this. There's not enough evidence either way. I just think earlier human societies were probably less violent and things. Um, okay. All right. Hiyori, what do I think about the concept of governments in general? So, good question, Hiyori. Oh, so, uh, okay, I got two good questions here. That's a good question too, Victoria. Let me answer this. Okay. Uh, right, Oz. Hilarious. Elites protect us from corruption. Very funny. Okay. All right. So, Hiyori, what do you think? So, I'm going to answer these three questions. I got three good questions here. Hiyori, what do you think about the concept of governments in general? So, I'm not a fan, Hiyori. I think for those who have been here a while, you know, I don't like states. That being said, Hiyori, as an anthropologist, I think I've said this before too, unfortunately, we're living in an era of such high populations and our societies are organized in such a way that we need states. I don't see how it could function properly without a state. Any society could, even though they're horrible. I think the best we can do is make them as good as we can, because I just don't think it's possible to not have a state. Now, there are other folks in here that are anarchists who strongly disagree with me. Um, but yeah, very funny, Matt Saigai. Even though communists don't believe in a state, right? I just don't see it being possible to not have a state, even though I'm not a fan of states. Okay, human beings for most of our existence lived in stateless societies called hunter-gatherer groups. Okay, but and so they were happier than we are now. But I just, with the number of people in the world, I just don't see it being possible without, I think a state would automatically develop. Victoria, what about juries? So, Victoria, that's a really good question. So the thing about juries, Victoria, is that they're told to decide a particular issue based off the law, not based off morality. So it's not really a question of morality. They are asked to it's demanded of them that they look at evidence, okay, and make a decision. And they're often directed in a very narrow way about how to make the decision they're making. That is a good point, though. That doesn't mean they'll make the right decision, Victoria. But I think when it comes to morals, I would trust all of you out there more. Okay, like I doubt like Ida, for example, I have a feeling Ida would be less willing to fire someone or order the execution of someone than would like some politician somewhere. Okay. Uh, you see what I mean? Like, I think that people who are not in power typically are more moral. That's just been my experience. Um, the evil versus good principle, but it's good. That's if is good only if leader is good. Yeah, you're right, Ida, which means, yeah. Um, right. Okay. Does that answer everyone's questions there? I know I kind of answered everyone's questions. Okay. Whew. All right. So guys, uh, if we get, uh, if we get, what is it? Hold on. What's up, Meowzard? What's up? What's up? Yeah, they do. Here, you're right. They do. Because they are the ones that want to kill Luigi Mangione and shit, right? Um, so yeah. And I will say, like, I think juries have to just because something is against the law doesn't make it immoral, and just because something is not against the law doesn't make it moral, right? So Okay, one more super chat. Oh yeah, that's all right. One more. So if we get one more super chat, men's that not all killings were bad, but uh, jury nullification, right? Yeah. Yes, I agree. We could. Oh, thank you, Dolly Boy. Okay, we've gotten to 5, folks. So that means we will. Um, we'll do some GeoGuessr. Okay, we'll do some GeoGuessr. Yeah, you're right, Meowzord. You're right. Okay, people who win the lottery either have a great life or they're reckless and they do endless drugs. That is true, Meowzord. Um, yeah, I'm not sure how to answer that. I that's a tough thing to think about because is that really their fault or is it that there's so many people vying for their money and drugs are so easily accessible? I don't know. It's complicated, right? Yeah, that is true, Meowser. That is very true. Weak moral foundations. And Meowser, you're right. And this is what okay, folks, let's talk about me for a second. We always talk about me, right? It is something I've thought about quite a bit, actually. Like, what if I were to get rich and famous doing this? Okay. And like, I'm not thinking that's going to happen, let's be honest. But like, think about it for yourselves. Like, do we think, like, what would happen if like a corporate entity or someone, you're right, Meowser. I agree. Power corrupts. Um, what do we think might happen if, uh, like, if someone, like a corporation, were to offer me an ad, like to put an ad on my stream that made me a lot of money, but it was immoral? Or what if, like, some person in power, like let's say a congressperson, came to me and was like, "Hey, stop talking about this, and it'll be to your benefit to stop talking about this or that." Um, okay, and now I immediately think to my, told you, Dolly Boy, it all goes back to Lord of the Rings. Okay, would I fold under that pressure? Would I become different? Okay, you're probably Victoria. Okay, would I become different? And my initial thought is, of course I wouldn't. Of course I wouldn't. I want to do that, but it makes you think because when I think really deeply about it, I'm like, would I? Like, I'm a human being. You know what I mean? Uh, and I think when people say I would never let that happen, like, who wouldn't say that? Uh, and I'm not saying that that would happen. I'm just saying, like, it's hard to tell, and I think that's the same for everyone. Because I can understand the draw, right? Power is alluring, so is wealth. Wealth and power are very alluring. Um, and I do hope to God, if that does happen, even though I'm an atheist, so I guess it doesn't matter. I hope to science that you all hold me accountable, and this is where I think that social pressure is super important. Okay, we don't have nearly enough of it in the United States. There's not pressure on people who do believe in immoral things, because if it's true that morals are sort of subjective, the only way to enforce good morals that are actually good morals is to put pressure on those that don't believe the right morals, right? And to give them an incentive to believe the right morals. So you should pressure me, and you should pressure other creators, and you should pressure politicians to give them an incentive to not fall into the bad morals. Okay, Meowzord, would like the taste of butter? All right. Okay, gonna George Orwell us for real, for real. I am not. Yeah, I really don't think I will, folks. But again, it is something that I think about. Like, if that would, yeah, wouldst thou like to live deliciously? Yeah, exactly. Okay. Um. Anyway. Okay. All right. Especially like, if you think about how little money I make doing this, like, it makes me think. I'm like, so if someone did offer me a ton of money, you see what I mean? But I mean, obviously, I don't think I would. And I already have people in my life that have promised that they would prevent that from happening if I ever asked them advice on it or something. But I mean, I don't think I would, but just in case, I'm only a human. Um, okay, guys. Uh, wouldst thou like the taste of butter? Yeah, okay. All right. Um, so does that make all sense? Does that all make sense? Yeah, Hiyori, totally. Seven deadly sins, greed trumps all. Yeah, and pride, right, Hiyori? So does that all make sense, folks? Morality, things like that. We need to reinforce morality because there might not be a way to logically justify any particular moral, and there's might not necessarily be any correct or wrong morality. There's only moralities that we think are good based off society, what's best for everyone. And so the way to enforce those is through pressure, right? And through education and things like that. And to constantly work on them to make them better. Okay, so all right. Let's do some GeoGuessr, shall we? Shall we do some GeoGuessr? Exactly, outer signal. And that's why I think about it, outer signal, because I'm like, I better think about this beforehand in case I do get that offer. I'm prepared for it. Uh, Admittedly, folks, I don't want to sound. I didn't want to make this talking about me. I was just using myself as an example because I know myself. But like, admittedly, I did quit my job, or I basically lost my job, uh, because I didn't agree with the morals. So I'm hoping that's a good sign. Okay. All right. All right, guys. So let me pull this up by just doing Ren is morality, right? Ren is the all right, guys. How do I do this? I do a multiplayer competitions. I'm trying to figure out. I'll put it up here. How do I do the 1 second, I'll put it up. Uh where'd I God damn it, what am I doing? Here we go. Overlay scene. Okay. God Emperor Matt Guy, right? Like, okay, so we'll do some GeoGuessr when we got to 5. Um Italian patron. Victoria, I would highly appreciate that. Thank you. You'd be like the Medicis or some shit. Okay. Uh all right. And then of course I would always be like Victoria is the best and I'd have a statue to Victoria behind me, okay? Yeah, let's do both. Let's do both, Dolly Boy. How about we do since you paid for part Dolly Boy? Yeah, you have infinite power, Matt Sagai. Let's do a round of GeoGuessr, then a round of Time Guesser. Okay. So this is GeoGuessr. Would someone tell me, are you here in your groove? How do I do it so that there's a limited number of uh how do I do it so that there is a limited number where is this shit of rounds? How do I do this? Urban tournament just trying to see here. Like, is there a way to make it so that there's a certain number of rounds? No limits? Where does it say no limits? Oops. Am I wrong, guys? Competitions. No. 1 second, guys. I'm just trying to figure. I should have looked this up in advance. Oh my god. I'm like starting to like and actually, it's been a while since I've had my meds, so I'm gonna take another one. Because I'm starting to get tired. My mouth's starting to hurt. Okay. Anyway. All right. I can't figure it out. You know what? We'll just standard featured games, food guesser, time guesser. You know what? Let's just do this. Let's just do was it time guesser? Is that the other one? Let's do time guesser. I just think it'd be funner to do time guesser right now. Let's do time guesser. Okay, time guesser. Uh Play daily. Let's do this. Let's begin. Play. Okay. No time limit. No timer. Play. All right. All right. Let's do this. So, oh my goodness, this is old. Jesus Christ. Okay. Well, this, dear God. Okay. England. Is this the UK? Uh, it's more fun. It's more fun. SoCal. All right. Uh, what the hell? Where annual athletic and cycling boy. Um, yeah, do you think so? Oh no, Victoria, please don't. I won't. Don't worry, Victoria. I have very few of them. They only gave me a very few number of them, but thank you, Victoria. Yes, please do. Feel free to come torture me if I do become addicted. Okay. I know you all, okay, Monday, August 2nd. I just need a year, like, okay, I'm guessing 1920s, obviously, or 1910s, maybe. Wait, 1920s. Do we think 1920s UK? What does that say over there? Definitely looks like the UK. Cooper's Dip. What do we think, guys? 1910s. We'll do 1910s. So I'm going to say 19. I'm just going to say 1910 exactly. 1910. Uh, let's somewhere in the UK. I'm just going to guess. This is hard. 1910 London. I don't know. We'll just put it right there. Make a guess. Oh, it was Ireland. Okay. Well, that wasn't so bad though, I guess. It was Ireland. It was we were only off by 1 year though. It was 1909. 1909 Ireland. Okay. Yeah, well, only 1 year off, so that's not bad, but we were a bit far away. Okay, next one. All right. Here we got so this is Italy. I'm pretty sure because of the Nice and Italy. Oh, is this Nice? So it's either that or it's probably southern France, northern Italy. Because Nice and Italy, I don't know if that means what year. Oh, 49. So this is 49, right? Yeah, I would guess because Nice is very southern France. I don't know if that's what that says. So like Nice is there's Nice. So I'm guessing it's down here somewhere. Uh de la Grande Corrinche, and it's 1949 because it says that on this sign. From Nice to Italy. Thank you. Uh, excellent. So then 49. So Nice to Italy 49. So probably down here. I'm guessing like right around here. Uh, somewhere right there. I'm just gonna guess because that seems pretty easy because it's basically saying that. Yep, there we go. We were only 30 kilometers out, and we were right. Okay, wow, that was really good. We did really well. Got the year exactly right. Okay, not bad. All right, what do we got here? Oh, this looks like a trolley train or something, some sort of tram type thing that's struggling. Watergraafsmeer Center. Okay, this is Dutch. I can tell it's Dutch because it's not German, but it looks like German, but it's not German, so it must be Dutch. Vanilla coffee and tea. Okay, Vor. Yeah, this is definitely. So I'm guessing this is probably somewhere in the Netherlands. Uh, somewhere in the Netherlands. I tell you guys about how I was in the Netherlands and I was looking at this book that was from like 1519 as part of some research I was doing, and then they brought out the book and they didn't give me any gloves or anything. They just set it in front of me, and I opened it, and then the first page I turned, it tore. It just like I barely touched it, and I started turning it, and it tore. And then I'm like quickly shoved it back in there, and I turned the page to hide it. Anyway, so Amsterdam, yeah, probably Amsterdam. You think Amsterdam? I know, Dolly Point. Then they told me afterwards, "Oh, we're surprised you didn't tear it because it's very easy to tear." I'm like, "Oh, no, of course I didn't. What do you mean, of course I didn't?" Okay, so we think Rotterdam. I hear a lot of people saying Rotterdam. Let me just double check. It looks like there's something on the front of it I could look at. Uh, to the dam? Okay, I don't know. Yeah, we'll just try Rotterdam right around here, okay? How does that sound? We'll do that. Let's do that. So, and we'll say 1930s, we're thinking 1930s or 20s. Let me go back here. Bad ass though. Okay, I'm just kidding. Can't really see any ass. Okay, anyway, uh, ooh, might be the night. What do we think? 1930s, yeah? Well, I don't know. They have very big. This could be 1950s. You think 1920s? Uh, don't you dare laugh at me after saying okay. 1924. Okay, we'll go 1924. Sure, sure, sure. 1924. Boo. Make a guess. Oh, we weren't far. We were about 40 kilometers out. It was actually, I don't know, some cute little place out here. I don't know. Oh, Amsterdam Central. Okay, and oh my God, guys, we were way off though from the for the year though. Oh my God, we messed that up badly. Badly, badly, badly. Dead ass guy. 1948 was the time. Okay, well, I got 0 points for the year. Oops. Okay, let's go to the next one. Yeah, we were all way off. It's okay. All right. Oh, look at this. This is cute. Is this America? Because there's a weapon in the middle of a street. Probably not. Let's see here. Uh, it doesn't look like the USA, but hell if I know. This could be. Maybe it is the USA. I don't think so. Guys, where is this shit? Is this the UK? The Vineyard Old Ale? Okay, this has to be the UK. Old Ale and Port House? That sounds so English. What do we think? London? You think London outer signal? UK to 2000s? Maybe, maybe. What is this thing? It's a goddamn oh, what is not an APAC? It's a uh, what is that thing we sent to Ukraine? A Bradley? Is that no? It's not a Bradley. I don't know what it is. You guys think it's the UK? Do we think it's London? Maybe I don't know. Everything in the UK is London, in my opinion. But maybe it is the UK because a lot of people live there. Matter of chance, I guess. Okay, let's do. You think Birmingham? Matt Saga, I'll go with your guess here. I'll go Birmingham 2000. I'll go with Victoria said Birmingham 2003. Uh, is that so outer signal? Okay. So let's do Birmingham 2003. We'll put it right in Birmingham. Boop. All right, shall we? Everyone ready? Yay, let's go. Hey. Nope, it was London. I should go with my thought. I should stop trusting all of you. You're all a bunch of traitors. You're like Mark Kelly and those Democrats who are all traitors anyway. So I was 5 years off. It was 2008. And we weren't that far, I guess. We were only 164 kilometers off. Let's go to the next one. Dolly boy. All right. Okay, we got a kid doing a Hitler salute. Oh wait, no, that's not a Hitler salute. Forgive me. It's just a kid in a Spider-Man outfit pointing. I get confused. I do live in America. I see a lot of Hitler salutes. Anyway, let's go over here. I'm so mean to America, aren't I? I'm just so mean. I guess I can be because who's this? Oh, it's Barack Obama. Barack Hussein Obama. Okay, anyway. All right. So let's see here. God, I didn't know Spider-Man was a Nazi. So we got this is clearly Barack Hussein Obama. And this is by the way, that's a joke for the Americans in here. You know what I'm referring to. This is probably the White House. Okay. Yeah, the drone commander in chief himself. I wonder, do you think how many wedding parties do you think he accidentally dropped a bomb on today before he came and said hello to this kid? Okay, anyway. Let's see here. Let's see here. We okay, you know what? This is probably 2000 and this is definitely the White House, I'm guessing. I'm guessing this is the White House. The White House. What is this? Take your child to work day. Go to the war criminal office. All right. Peter Parker, New York City. Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, but like I don't know, it looks like the White House, doesn't it? We'll do White House. Okay. Drone daddy. All right. All right, we'll do DC. Where's the White House? Uh, where's the damn thing? There it is. Okay. Jesus Christ. White House. Such a horrible city to walk in anyway. They don't have very good public transport there anyway. All right, I'm mumbling. All right, White House. Well, probably the West Wing. I don't know. Probably Probably West Wing. Let's say West Wing. Let's say what? When was Obama president? It was like what? 2000 and ugh, that'd be 2012. So 2008 to 2012, right? No, 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 no. God damn it. 2004 to 2016, something like that. Thank you. 2009, 2017. Jesus Christ. Okay, so let's do it this way. Obama admittedly looks like he looks his hair. So it was funny. Obama grayed a lot by the time he was done being president. He aged a lot. So he looks a bit younger in this one. He looks like he hasn't lost too many cells in his body from all the stress. So yeah, let's go 2009. 2009. I would guess. Uh, okay, let's do. Well, okay, fine. Let's do 2010. 2011. 2010. We'll do 2010. 2010. Everyone ready? Oh my God, we were only 21 meters away. That's fantastic. And we were only off by 2 years. Guys, that was a massive success. I want to thank everyone for your contributions to this channel. Okay, thank you very much. I'm going to start crying. All right. Okay. Hey, Drusilla, join the club. Okay, so am I. Okay, I can barely string together a sentence. Okay, that was cute. You want to do another one, guys? You want to do another one? You want to do another one? Let's do another one. Let's just do one more. This is kind of fun. No timer. Play. Okay, this is cute. This is very cute. Broad Street. Now that could be anywhere. The Newark lunch. Oh, so this might be Newark, New Jersey. Who I don't know. These little kids. These is like 1920s, I think. No, definitely 19. They have their knickers on. They got their little knickers. Okay. Let's do here. Boo. Let's quickly go to I would say Newark, New Jersey, which if anyone doesn't know is like right across the bay from New York. It's where is it? There's where's New Am I crazy? Am I going crazy here? Where's there's Newark. Okay, we're gonna say Newark. We're gonna say 1920 fun, 1924. Or make a guess. Hey, we were only a kilometer away, and we were off by 15 years. Okay, well, still not that bad. Let's gonna do this one more time, folks, and then I'll do GeoGuessr once. Oh my God, look at all these men. Oh my Lord. All right, what's going on here? Let's see here. Uh, this is China. This is definitely China. Definitely China. Partially, you can tell because of the smog. And you know what, Victoria, I agree with you. I think it's 2008. That's when the Olympics were there. Actually, you can mainly tell because there's images of Mao's insurgents on those the stone things back there. We'll do 2008. This is the Beijing Olympics, I'm pretty sure. So, all right. Oh, isn't it cute? They're all running together. Aw, even though they're like on opposing teams and shit. How cute. Beijing. Okay, let's go Beijing. 2008. Make a guess. Go. Well, boy was I wrong, and boy were we wrong. It was North Korea, strangely enough. It was North Korea. Um, how the hell that happened, how they all were able to go to North Korea. I guess it is Korean that they have. Okay, it was North Korea, and it was the Pyongyang Marathon. Okay, well, who would have guessed? Who would have thought? I guess I should have looked closer at the picture. Yeah, apparently this was North Korea in 2014. I would have guessed China, but I guess I should have looked closer at their pictures. I guess that is Korean and not Chinese, but still. I guess so. I've never heard of this thing, folks. I don't know what the Pyongyang Marathon is. Who knows? Okay. Last thing I would have guessed. All right. Where are we now? We are is this Cairo? Is this Cairo? No, India. Okay. India. slapdash cricket. So this okay, well, of course it's India. Cricket competition. Now, do we have a lot of stuff where in India? I don't is this the red that's not the red fort. What am I saying? Oh goodness. Do we know? Mumbai, you think? You think so, Matt Saiga? You think Mumbai? Uh my issue is the year. I guess their hair kind of looks like the 60s or something. Do you think this is the 60s in India or the 50s? What do we think? What do we think? What do we think? Yeah. So Matt Saigai, what year do we think? Do we think 50s, 60s? Um, hmm. India? Okay. Well, yeah, I know India, but when? When? When is it? When? Do we know 19 you want to say 1946? All right. Being busy. Okay. Mumbai. Where are you, Mumbai? God, I love you, Mumbai. Oh my God, my brain. I'm having a brain fart. I used to know where Mumbai was. Oh, God damn it. Oh, Jesus. All right. Mumbai. Uh, come on. It's on the east side, right? It's on the east side. I thought it was. God, what side? 19 Mumbai. What side of the country is Mumbai? Matt Saigai, what side of the country is Mumbai? I used to know this shit, but my vision is sort of ugh, Mumbai. What's is it? Which side is it on? Okay. It's on the west. Oh God, I'm a fool. Okay. Jesus Christ. I used to know. Okay. So much for my knowledge of geography. Mumbai. There it is. Oh, yay, Mumbai. Okay, let's do Mumbai. 1970. 1970. What's disgusting, Matt Saigai? You're disgusting. What do you mean? Okay. 1971. Oh my God. Okay. So disgusting, Sam. Okay, let's do this. Okay, 1971. Let's do make a guess. All right. Boo. Oh, we were off by 15 years, but we were only I should have it was 1986, by the way. So Matt Saigai, shame on you. Shame on you. We were only 9 kilometers away, but it was Mumbai, but we were just off by 15 years. Okay, next one. Yay, next one. Hey, next one. Well, let me go to the next one, or is it gonna freeze? All right. Let's go to the next one. There we go. All right. Yay. Okay. Well, this is Ukraine. This is Ukraine. It appears to be Ukraine celebrating some kind of celebration. I'm gonna guess 1989 with the fall of the Soviet Union. That's probably what it is. So let's go Ukraine, Kiev, 1989, Kiev, 1989, 1989. Make guess. I'm gonna do some fast. Yay! I was only 2 years off. 1991. Okay, that works too. So we are about 3 kilometers off. All right, 3 kilometers off. It is not. It is. No, it didn't. I just only thought you're right. Whatever. Okay, you're right. Technically, the other countries left at different times. You're right. Okay, I just whatever. Okay. Next one here. Maybe you do, Mithril. Okay, here we go. Oh my God, this is triggering. It's a classroom. Okay, I am so. Oh look, it's a kid. This kid, I swear on my life, he's getting sent to detention if he's in my class. Actually, he might not be because he's actually learning something. So this kid, there's an image here of a kid playing the game we're playing while in class. Okay, so, all right. Let's see here. Okay, but this is once again this is Dutch. So this is the Netherlands somewhere in the Netherlands. I'm guessing 2000 and what? 2020. 2020 in the Netherlands. We got a lot of uh I know, right? Okay, let's do Amsterdam. 2023. We'll do 2023. 2023. That's a good point. Let's look at the computer screen. Oh, God. God damn it, I can't see it. It's definitely the 2000s, I can tell you that. It is. Yeah, that kid should be it's too pixelated. I can't. It's 2000 and something. I'm just gonna say 2000. On the projector screen. That's a good point. Nah, there's nothing there. Um, I don't know. It's the quality and shit of this screen is making me think 2023. So let's do 2023. 2023. Make a guess. Boop. Oh, damn it. I should have listened to you, Dolly. But guys, god damn it, you didn't tell me fast enough. It's your fault. Okay? It was 2024, not 2023. All right? God, okay. But we weren't that far. I guess we were only 161 kilometers out. That's not that bad, I guess. All right. All right, let's go to the next one. Oh, final score. Yay. Okay, now for Matt Saigeist's sake, we're gonna play one on this one, and then we'll stop, okay? Or do something else, all right? This is so fun. I get addicted to this, and then I don't stop, and then I'm like, no wonder I don't get many viewers later. People stop by and they're like, what is this lunatic doing? Okay, let's see here. Oh, they also have Food Guesser. That'd be fun. We should do Food Guesser sometime. Is Malzor on board? If Malzor is here, we could do Food Guesser. Anyway, okay, so let's do this. This looks like either Ukraine or Russia or rural Indiana. If you look at the roads. Anyway, okay. What do we think? Oh, I don't know. What is this? Is this we have a Slava Ukraini here? What do we got? Russia flag? No. No, nothing like that. I think Russia too. But yeah. Wow. Oh my God, this is so Russia. So Russia. But like this is the problem though. Russia is so large. We need at least like some idea of where in Russia it is. See, there's also lots of sunflowers, which makes me think it's Ukraine. Because Ukraine loves sunflowers. Coca-Cola. Well, it could be anywhere because our culture pollutes everything. All right. This is not helping. Okay, you know what? Sevastopol. Okay, we're just gonna guess. We'll say Russia. I'm gonna say near the Ukrainian border because why not? All right, guess. Oh, well, okay. Almost there. It was about 470 kilometers away. That's not bad. Let's go to the next one. Oh, cute. Cute. This is gonna be hard as fuck. Okay. I mean hard as heck, excuse me. This is beautiful. Look at this. Oh, and the cute music playing. All right. Where the hell are we? FV72. I don't know. FV72. Oh, look, it's a little water thing. Water's cool. It looks like very cold water, though. Very cold water. Oh, wait. Okay, wait. Is Drusilla here? Okay, Drusilla, where is this? What is this language? Where is this, Drusilla? Is it Finland? Norway? Really? Okay. It says JAMTLANDS vegan. Jamslandsvegan. Forgive me. I know I'm embarrassing myself. Okay, you know what? We'll guess. This is so beautiful, though. Let's go. Let's guess Norway. I'm guessing this is somewhere up in the north. Jamad's Lost Vegan or whatever it is. Probably this road. This looks cool. This looks like a cool road. It's country road. Okay, so oh yeah, Ida's here too. Ida, does this look familiar? It looks quite northern, right? FV. So should I just go up here? I'll just go up here. Like right up here. We'll go right here. All right, let's guess. Hey, that's okay. We were only 205 kilometers out. It was, where was it? It was actually, I don't know, someplace down here near Trondheim. Okay, very nice. All right. Beautiful country over there. Beautiful country. India? Oh, this is India. Am I right? Does this look like India to everyone? It looks like India to me. Looks like India to me. Yeah. Oh, looks very, probably southern India. Southern India. Southern India somewhere. Colombo something road. Oh, nope, I lied. It is not India. It is Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka. Yeah. Sri Lanka. Okay. Definitely Sri Lanka, because Ceylon is what it says there. So we'll go to Sri Lanka. Okay. All right. Let's go Sri Lanka down here. All right. Sri Lanka. And let's go Sri Lanka. Okay, so they did say Colombo. So it's probably in Colombo here. So let's do Colombo. Guess. Yay! Okay, we were only 14 kilometers out, and that's not bad. That's not bad. All right, we did good there. I like seeing places around the world. Where is this? Oh, good God. Oh, dear jeez. Okay, back to the United States, apparently. Look at this mess. Okay. Oh, wow. God, the architecture is just gorgeous. Look at this cube smart, beautiful, monolithic piece of shit. Okay. Let's see here. What else we got here? That's pretty though. Okay, hey, that's actually pretty nice. I lied. Okay. Brownsville Academy. This looks pretty cool. So New York Department of Education, is that what that says? Yeah, New York City Department of Education. Okay, so we are in New York City. East New York Street. East New York Street. Oh my God, all the cars. It's a nightmare. Yeah, definitely not Manhattan, Malzord, okay? Jesus Christ. It's like when raised subway lines. Okay, so we'll do, oh my God. Mega SeaWorld. Caribbean Fish, wholesale and retail. What? Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Okay, I don't even know. I was just gonna ask. I thought this was like a store that sold like fish for an aquarium. I'm like, why do they accept SNAP benefits? But then I realized, no, they're probably just fish for eating. Okay, I'm an idiot. Okay. Okay, here we go. Let's see. So we're in New York City. Not a rich area, so not where the elites are hoarding their money like a dragon, sitting on a pile of cash. Let's see here. Oh, that's Boston. That's where I used to live. Let's go down here. New York City, New York City, New York City. All right. So I'm guessing we are in. What do we think, guys? What do we think? It's probably up here somewhere, like, I don't know, around here. Jackson Heights or some shit. I don't know. Definitely. Well, it could be up here. Let's just get up here. Mount Vernon-ish. Does that look good? No. Where do we? Oh, it's Queens. It is Queens. Queens. Where did I see Queens? I used to know where Queens was, but I'm high. Okay. Queens, where are you, Queens? There's the Bronx. Jesus Christ, everything is melding together. It's in front of me. Okay. Do we know where is it? Where is Queens? It's somewhere, isn't it? It's not to the right. Oh, okay, it's over here. Thank you. Brooklyn. Uh, that's true. Yeah, it's true. American Sphere. Am I blind? I feel like it's right around here. Oh, there it is. I'm a fool. Right there. We'll do Queens. Okay. Oh, there it is. Let's do there. Guess. Hey, you were right. Except it was technically Brooklyn. That's kind of weird. But anyway. So okay, Queens. Yay. We were only 12 kilometers out. Yay. Let's do one more on here, folks, and then we'll do something else. What do we got here? This is, I don't know. Oh my God. Who knows? Who knows? Delano Avenue. Ugh. Looks like America, kind of. 72. Oh, good God. That looks like some sort of tropical plant. This might be like, I don't know, Arizona, or like, it could be a Dolly Boy. It could be mentioning FDR. All right, let's do our racist shit, shall we? What do these people look like? Oh, Jesus. Okay. Anyone have their ruler so we can measure their phylogeny and stuff? Like, Jesus. Okay. What? You're right a lot. Okay, but why'd they disappear? Why'd they disappear? It could be Canada. I know it doesn't. All right. God damn it. See, they keep disappearing. All right. It's a joke, by the way, folks. I wasn't actually gonna, measure their fillet, whatever. Okay, it was a joke. All right. Because last time we did this, there were a bunch of really racist people in chat who were claiming that some people that we were looking at were a certain race. Okay. And they got wrong. They were wrong. Matt Psy guy. Anyway, I'm just kidding. I'm just being a dick. Okay. Measure. Yeah, Giselle. Like, what are they called? Like they used to do that crap where they would measure people's craniums, and like they had that like caliper, I guess, that they would measure people's craniums, and really gross shit. Oh, that's okay, Ida. That's okay. It was not wrong, bitch. It was Brazil. Right, Matt Psy guy. Okay. Right. Okay. Okay. Well, I don't know where the Orient Road. Well, that sounds racist. Yeah, Drizzle. Okay. What's this? This is Fairview Cove. Well, that doesn't help. That doesn't help at all. Oh God, that's at least. Whatever happened? We need more Meowzords in the world. This is such an uncreative sign. Like, why don't we have more graphic designers out there that know how to design signs? Lobotomy. Yeah, there. Thank you. Yeah, that's also works. Okay, Orient Road. Well, that sounds racist too. Why does everything sound so racist to me all of a sudden? All right. Tacos, quesadillas. It might, but I don't want to cheat out or something. Like, I don't want to look it up if I don't know. Thank you, phrenology. Thank you, Oz. Jesus. Yeah. Thank you, Oz. Not the other thing. Check garbage cans. Okay, that's a good call, Oz. God, it's such a wasteland out here. All right. Oh, it's a mobile gas mobile. Okay, let's see what they. Okay, they're trucks. It is giving south or like west, USA. Smoke shop. My God. Oh, good Lord. Okay. Yeah, it's hard to see the license plates though, Oz, because like they're it could be Florida. That it could be. Oh, you know what? It is Florida. FL57. Okay. Is that so? Okay. Let's do so. You're right, Meows. Okay, the highway sign. I think I saw. So let's find FL57. 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 Oh God, is this FL57? probably isn't being helpful here. FL57, FL57, Florida 57. All right, I don't know where the hell this is. It could be anywhere. 50, that's 75. That's not 57. Jesus, I'm such a whiny little baby. Where is this shit? Is it over here? Is it over here? Or is it over here? 57, 95. Oh, good God. Oh. Well, you know what? We're just gonna guess. We're just gonna guess. I don't give a shit. Let's just guess. We'll put it right in the goddamn middle. Okay, how about that? Right in the. Unless it's over here. Unless I just missed it. Could be on the. No, it's not. Okay, we're gonna go guess right in the goddamn middle. You left side. Okay, we'll go left side. We'll go left side. We'll go right here. Boom, done. All right. Well, we were 372 kilometers away. That's okay though. We're not bad. That's not bad. All right, folks. All right. Yay! Okay. Oof. That's not panhandle. Oh, forgive me, Meowzord. Okay. Oh well, we got close, right? As long as we don't live in Florida, right? For those who are out there. Ron DeSantis going around eating. Do we all remember that thing with Ron DeSantis? See here, Ron DeSantis, where it was reported that Ron DeSantis eats pudding with his fingers. Ron DeSantis eats pudding with fingers like a maniac. Yeah, here it is. In March 2023, a report in the Daily Beast citing two unnamed sources claimed that during a private plane trip in 2019, DeSantis ate a chocolate pudding cup using 3 of his fingers instead of a utensil. And a former staffer, also unnamed, was quoted in the article as saying DeSantis would sit in meetings and eat in front of people, always like a starving animal who had never eaten before, getting shit everywhere. Which I know that's not. Oh my God, thank you so much, Ida. Really, thank you so much, Ida, for the super chat, okay? Ida, by the way, you missed our quiz today. Sorry you missed it. But I just thought, I know that's, why am I bringing up that Ron DeSantis eats pudding with his fingers? Because that's like a war crime. Meowzord, I got to it before you, Meowzord, but yes. It's like the most, like if there's one thing you need to know about Ron DeSantis is that he eats pudding in public with his fingers. Like, no, Matt Saigai, it's not the same thing. Who the hell eats pudding with your fingers? Okay, who eats pudding with your fingers? Okay, that's messed up. Okay, yeah. I don't know. It's weird, right? Yeah, it's delayed for some reason. I was like, who the hell would eat pudding with? Like, that's not something you eat. It's gross. Okay, you're just gonna get. Anyway, okay. All right. So I got you, Ida. Okay. Thank you, though, Ida, very much for that donation there. Okay. Let's see here. So that was gross. He also, what else did he do? He did some other weird shit. No, there was an ad. 1 second. There was a political ad. You know how very intellectual I'm being that I'm talking about him eating shit with his fingers. But, there was a political ad against him that talked about him eating it with his fingers. That pudding with fingers. All right. Let's see here. And I believe it was actually like a pro-Trump ad. Forgive me for that, but I thought it was funny because, I don't like either of them. I mean, so we'll see if we can find the pro-Trump ad that attacks Ron DeSantis for his fingers. A single serving. Hey, that's possible, Meowser. Maybe it is. Probably is a conspiracy. By the way, Meowser. By the way, folks out there, I think it was Meowser. Someone got me into watching Necessary Conversations. It is crazy. And it's so interesting to watch. I recommend it. It's a channel on YouTube. It's really good. But one second. Ooh. All right, I'm going to turn this up. Let's see here. Let's see if they talk.
On TV from former President Donald Trump and a PAC supporting Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
Let's see if they show it.
Aimed at scaring seniors, taking aim at Social Security and Medicare. West News political reporter Greg Fox serves up a new Get the Facts to see.
Okay, let's get it. I want to see. Here it is. I thought it was funny. Here we go.
In Congress.
Here we go.
Like cutting Medicare, slashing
DeSantis'
so
records
in Congress.
Here we
like
go.
Cutting Medicare, slashing Social Security, even raising our retirement age.
Let's get the facts. The claim in the ad.
Anyway, it was just an ad that had like him in the background, like just like grossly eating pudding with his 3 fingers. Anyway, gotcha. Okay. I will say this though. I got kind of caught off guard yesterday because I didn't know that Chad Kultgen was kind of a blue MAGA. And what I mean by that is that he said on stream yesterday that there wasn't really an assassination. It was a staged assassination attempt against Trump. And maybe it was, but I don't know. That I always thought that sounded kind of like blue MAGA. Now, obviously, it's not the same as being MAGA. I'm just saying it's kind of a conspiracy theory. Yeah, but other than that, it's great. Okay, he's great. Otherwise, he makes lots of good points. I'm not demonizing. It just caught me off guard. I'm like, no, why'd you say that? Okay, because anyway. But he has a lot of other good things. All right. All right. Okay, so that's that. That was just it. It was just, I'm only judgmental of you. God, do I sound drunk? I feel like my voice is slurring a little bit. Anyway, okay. So, all right, I'm going to put my face back up here, folks. I can't believe you're still with me here, all of you. If I sound like I'm slurring my word, I probably sound like a lunatic. Okay. Overweight face. Okay. So, I'm not drunk. I'm just very, okay. All right. Totally, Malzord. Okay. Convenient scapegoat. Wait, for who? What do you mean? What do you mean, Malzord? Wait, what happened? Did something happen? What was the what happened with? Am I missing something that happened in the news? There was a scapegoat. How dare you, Drusilla? Something happened. Oh, yeah. That is true, Malzord. He does. Now, I'm not saying we don't. Maybe it was staged. I don't know. I just haven't seen evidence that it was. Okay. So, guys, I believe the time has come for me to leave all of you and go and take a nap. Matt Saiga, you're dumb, Matt Saiga. You're dumb. Okay? You're dumb as a rock. Okay? God. Or at least I can use a rock to open a nut or something. Like, just, I don't know. Why would you do that? Just, anyway. Just kidding, Matt Saiga. You're the best. Okay, so I am going to go, folks. Thank you all for bearing with me through this disaster of a stream today. And we will, I know, Drusilla. Okay, I'm actually feeling pretty good, folks. Well, you can guess that. But my mouth hasn't been hurting that much. I've been good at, I haven't had to, now my jaw is very inflamed, or I should say puffy. Oh, thank you, Ida. Thank you, really, Ida. You're a lovely person too, Ida. I'm very glad you found our channel here. I'm glad to have another Norwegian here, so that Drusilla doesn't get lonely. Okay, I'm messing with you, Drusilla. Yeah, glad to have you here, Ida. I also like your perspectives on things, and Ida, it's also good. I'm glad you're practicing your English too. It's also just good for your. I'm sorry, I'm being a teacher, but it's always good to practice your English, to practice another language. I think this is a good opportunity for you to do that. So anyway, I'm sure you could, Matt Saigai. Thank you, Doug. Thank you. Okay. All right, you guys. So I'm going to head out now. Thank you all for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll come on tomorrow as normal for Saturday, unless I'm in extreme pain or something. We'll come on tomorrow. All right. Bye-bye. Everyone knows what I'm about to say. First of all, free Palestine, please. Free Palestine. Don't forget about Sudan either. Free Palestine. Never stop resist. Free Palestine. Never stop resisting. The easiest way to resist is to think for yourselves. The easiest way to resist, thank you, Addison, is to think for yourselves. You too, Hiyori, is to think for yourselves. That includes when you watch me. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. Don't get caught in information silos. See what other people are saying, because the easiest way to resist is to think for yourselves. Okay? No, Drusilla, I meant for Ida, right? That's not what I mean, Meowzord. How dare you, okay? But kind of. I do mean it, but like smart research, okay? It's just my opinion. Meowzord, I swear to God, you know just what to get. Okay. All right. Okay. It's not that bad. I mean, I've seen it improve. It's like I can understand exactly what you're saying. I'm just saying it's a good place to practice your English is to write. I didn't mean that as an insult. Drusilla, this is your fault. You started this, okay? God, all right, okay. What was I saying? Yeah, so never stop resisting, think for yourselves. Okay. On the wall, we're living in a fascist moment in this country and other countries around the world. Fascism thrives in an environment where people have lost faith in their democratic institutions. In order to combat that, we need major reforms in this country, not only in this country, but in other countries around the world. In other countries around this world, you need to resist, okay? Don't be a slug. If you stand in the center, the fascists will walk all over you. You can't stand in the center. Don't stand in the center. Don't be a slug. On the wall behind me is the how dare you, Mithril? Righto, and what the bobbies are coming, Mithril. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm being rude about English, about British English, okay? Though I do like British English. Okay, on the wall behind me is a sword. The name of that sword is Chainbreaker. Chainbreaker is thought to have been responsible for the death of 7 slave owners. Why do I have it back there? I have it back there to remind everyone that our ancestors made some major sacrifices for some things we have, okay? Including putting their lives on the line for some of the shit we have, okay? Don't let their sacrifice go to waste, and always fight for a better future. And I'm having trouble talking now, so how dare you? I do not look down on people for a. How dare you all? I'm sorry. I'm being teacherly. I'm grateful that Ida's here. I'm very happy that she's here. And how dare you, Drusilla? American English is better. Okay, is better. Oh, Mithril is para to normal. That's who Mithril is. Drusilla. Para to normal is Mithril. So anyway, Ida, your English is good too, Ida. I'm just saying. Okay. All right, guys. You have a good rest of your day. How dare you, Matt Guy? You know what? One last thing, folks. Sorry, one last thing. When I was in school, there would be students who I would call basically gasoline throwers. They were students who didn't necessarily do anything bad, but whenever something bad happened in the class, they were always there to throw fuel on the fire. Okay, they would do everything they could to make situations started by. Is it better? There we go. Did you guys hear what I said? Okay. I swear this is the last thing. I'm just trying to finish what I was saying. So when I was in school, when I was a teacher, there would be students who I would call gasoline throwers. They were students who didn't necessarily do anything bad, but whenever another kid did something bad, they would inevitably be there to throw gasoline on the fire and make it worse. And that is what Drusilla is. That is what Matt Guy is. That is what Mithril is. They're all a bunch of gasoline throwers. So like Ida, Ida, I was trying to have a good conversation with Ida, and then in comes Matt Saigai with gasoline and just throws it onto the fire. And then in comes Druzilla, and it's just like, oh, I'm gonna throw fuel on the fire. Okay. And, oh, don't worry, Leelane. You also are a gasoline thrower. You're all gasoline throwers, okay? Most of you are, okay? Yes, Druzilla. And all of you are gasoline throwers. Okay, there. I'm